says you go on.
I go back and rewatch the whole stream. Fuck no,
Oh
I have no.
God.
I don't remember what happened by the next morning. I'm like, Jacqueline died and Spargo killed more kids, and I don't know. No, I go back and I watch the whole thing, and I watch it in double speed, so we all sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and it's really
that's so funny.
Yep.
You know, Spargle's killed 100% more kids than anyone else in the party. Just 100%.
Wow.
He's still alive, though. So.
I've cornered the market on that.
Number one, Freddy Krueger over here.
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Spruger.
Player handouts. Okay. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to dive into it then, all right? Let's see. All right. When we started our last session, the party was just entering the gates of the city of Vallaki around noon, after having stabled their 3 horses and convincing the guards to let them in. Thoradin, being impressed with the construction of this more substantial town, analyzed the stonework of some nearby buildings. Unfortunately, a few of the villagers shooed him away before he could get a good read. In the meantime, Spargle prodded Deckard further for some more details about his recent transformation. But, as Deckard explained a bit, one of the guards seemed to overhear something that intrigued him, and he rushed off toward the center of town. Deckard tried to cover this up with a quick excuse, but it did not seem like the guard was buying it.
Never does.
The group then continued down the main road towards what they assumed would be the town center. They passed by an industrial district and noted that the city was livelier, seeing families and generally normal activity for a town of this size. Notably, they had not seen any of the Vistani, the gypsy-like people who were more common near the village. They also noticed the typical presence of well-appointed city guards, as well as militia members who seemed to carry some basic weapons, but not wear the uniform of a guard. And other than some strange looks from the locals, the town seemed safe. Thoradin approached and asked a middle-aged guard by the name of Alec Janik for some information about the city, and gained the attention of this helpful, friendly guard who gave him some good details. Thoradin introduced himself and stated that he was here for the festival, which you guys had seen a bunch of those signs about, which the guard appreciated, and then he was much more open with sharing some information. He suggested that the Blue Water Inn would be a great place for some decent food, and that it was run by the Martikovs. When asked about the prior festivals, he said there were too many to remember, and that they've been having them about every 2 weeks for as long as they can remember. But they've never had a Blazing Sun festival before, and that was on the schedule in about 3 days from now. So they parted ways. The guards seemed happy that they had promoted this festival, and that Thoradin agreed that the party was going to attend. They decided to head toward the Blue Water Inn along the main road. They spent some time exploring and looking around the city as they progressed. Eventually, they stumbled upon a more proper town square, which was surrounded by both residential buildings and commerce. On the back of the square was a larger community center building, perhaps where some of the guards or city officials work. In the center of the square were a set of stocks holding people who were, and stocks are those things where, at Cedar Point, you take the picture of your head through the thing and the old Western stuff. Holding several people who were wearing crudely designed makeshift plaster donkey heads. Peasants were standing around, jeering, laughing, and sometimes throwing garbage at these prisoners. And surrounding this square were signs from the most recent festival, the Wolf's Head Jamboree.
It's a damn shame we missed that.
All will be well.
Which looked like that, as a reminder.
All will be well.
Deckard spoke with an older gentleman who was participating in the taunting, and he explained that these prisoners had been accused of malicious unhappiness, or otherwise didn't participate in the last festival. The man then handed Deckard a rotten tomato to throw, who took the tomato but intentionally missed his throw at one of the prisoners. This man, Karga Rilsky, who goes by Old Man Rilsky, mentioned that the last festival went pretty well, but that one old lady who spends a lot of her time at church said that her son, Udo, was taken away after parading around a rather improper sign, and he was screaming, "All is not well," and similar blasphemy, and hasn't been seen since. She'd been spending a lot of time at the church praying for his return, and that a Father Petrovic often holds evening masses there. While this conversation was happening, the rest of the crowd started to quiet a bit, and people started shuffling around nervously. As out of the building behind the square emerged an enormous, mean-looking man. I did not show you guys this last time. I had to dig it up, but this is sort of what he looks like.
Oh, so Kratos. Got it. Okay.
Vin
So you
Diesel
guys
in
got it
that
for
one
him.
movie.
You guys were calling him The Rock last time.
Yeah.
But, and again, he is like the guy that plays the Mountain, but about 4 inches taller and wider. He's just insanely big guy.
Oh, boy.
Is he a human?
He's a human. He's just an abnormally large human. In terms of like D&D standards, he's closer to like a Goliath.
Eating a lot of raw eggs, yeah.
While this conversation was happening, sorry, I said that already. He seemed to be observing the scene at the square, perhaps even judging. Deckard whispered to Old Man Rilsky about the imposing figure, who under his breath replied that his name was Ezek, and that he was dangerous and they should stay clear of him. As the group decided to continue to the Blue Water Inn, Ezek started ordering around several guards who started removing the old festival signs and putting up some fresh new signs that advertised the Festival of the Blazing Sun. And that one looked like this. As they walked away, Deckard offered to buy Old Man Rilsky a drink if he were to come by the Blue Water Inn later. On the way to the inn, the group noticed a unique-looking shop with a fancy, like, double B logo. So they decided to check it out. Ismark, Irina, and Alaric stayed outside of the shop, and Ismark mentioned to Alaric that he was feeling a little less hopeful as they learned more about this town. The others who entered the shop were met by a jovial, heavy-set, middle-aged man with a purple jester hat and a monkey on his shoulder. Immediately, before even addressing the man, Thornton started giving his pet some rations and calling him Roscoe. The man noticed his name was the man noted that the monkey's name was actually Piccolo, and then introduced himself as Blinsky, a toy maker, and then recited his opening pitch. Welcome, friends, to the House of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know a little child in need of joy? A little toy for a girl or boy? And upon hearing that, Spargle now looked a little bit sad and started for the exit. However, Thornton grabbed him by the collar, attempting to pass him off as his son. The monkey started dancing around Spargle excitedly as the two of them had a short conversation in monkey sounds. Spargle was concerned that Piccolo was in good shape and if he didn't mind this arrangement here, and the monkey confirmed he was treated well and that he liked his tutu. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. The monkey's wearing a tutu. I forgot to recap that part. After this, the shopkeeper showed off all his toys for sale, which I put into Slack if you needed them. So the Slack D&D loot channel has a list of all the stuff that you buy. And including the money that you paid for it. But refused to show one of the toys, which he said was a custom piece made for another customer. Everything else, however, was for sale. Thornton tried to bargain with the shopkeeper to find out what this special toy was. And Spargle tried to talk the monkey into retrieving it, but Piccolo demanded a banana as payment. Unable to produce such an exotic fruit, the monkey became rude and retreated back to Blinsky's shoulder. The party decided to buy this entire stock, much to Blinsky's glee. But they also wanted his hat and the monkey as part of the deal. So he flatly refused to sell the monkey, saying he received it from someone else and wouldn't feel good about giving him away. So they agreed on a price of 45 silver for all the toys plus Blinsky's hat.
I pissed 45 silver.
The toy maker seemed happy with the deal as the group walked away. As the door swung closed behind them, Spargle turned around and used prestidigitation to make a banana appear in one hand with an extended middle finger directed at the primate. On the stoop with Alaric, Ismark admitted that he wasn't sure about this place and that his plan had been to head back to his village. But he'd been having second thoughts about leaving Irina here, even though he does trust her in the hands of this group. Thornton and Deckard talked him down for that. They had a good, like, guys talk, right? And it seemed that Ismark had an epiphany. He said, "You're right. There is no escape from Strahd. Not at home, not here." He said, "We must kill him. There is no other way to escape."
He's such a pussy, that guy. I mean, really. He's just... Sorry. Go ahead.
He mentioned something about an abbey at the town of Kresk, but that it is some distance from here. It was a good bonding moment for Ismark and the others. But suddenly, Deckard had a realization. That old gypsy lady, Madame Eva, mentioned something about a man with a monkey, didn't he? This seemed to resonate with everyone else, who collectively froze on the step, pondering what to do next.
Including the
Perhaps-
dungeon master.
Perhaps the toy maker was more than he seemed. There was some fireside banter that kind of carried on after this. I don't know if you guys want to... If you want, you can just kind of read it out.
Oh, kind of
Well,
like actors do with the
Act
script?
it out. Yeah. So
that's-
start with Deckard. If you
table
guys have
reading.
it open.
Table read.
Yeah, table read. So you're at your April 29th message at 4:41.
And Dan, you're going to have to read the emotes. You'll read the emotes, and then we'll do the dialogue.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Boys, that crazy old crone with the cards is right. That Jester fella sounds mighty important. Think we should go back and talk to him some more. Not some more like the chocolate and the graham cracker, but like, some more,
So Thoradin seems intrigued by the s'mores that Deckard mentioned. These are something that the dwarf hasn't ever had, but is peculiarly interested in.
Chocolate and graham cracker, you say?
But-
Aye, well,
but
I
surely-
may be very intrigued by these chocolatey morsels you be mentioning. It may be in our best interest to find out what that fat, limey bastard's deal is. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Thoradin is clearly still thinking about these new s'mores, as there seems to be a bit of longing in his stern and honest eyes.
I don't know if myself or Sparky should go in there again. Maybe some fresh blood, lads?
Important, as in I should lop his head off or try talking to him some more.
Spargle?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this plan, but I do think we should apply heat to the graham crackers and the chocolate. That should allow the chocolate to melt and ooze a bit. Delicious. Oh yeah. We should definitely talk to the fat man again too. If you guys go, try to find out who the toy he hid from us is for. Perhaps try to get it as well. Maybe we could help deliver it to him to this mysterious carnival man who commissions these horrible toys. I wonder what other confections might blend with the chocolate and graham crackers. Taffy? No.
And then cocking his head as if listening to something far away.
Yeah, almost like Blackwood's singing voice on the mist. Something
Right,
like that. I can't stop thinking about that windmill. So very, very terrible. That's too bad about our warlock friend with the death wish, too. We'll have to find new ways to make other people angry with us. Sometimes I make folks really mad with my spells. Like my home village. They won't even let me visit anymore. And I keep going
Those
on and
kids'
on.
parents
And no one's listening. And those kids. I bet they're ghosts now and awfully sore about that fireball. Perhaps I brought them s'mores. They might forgive me. Caramel. That might be good.
That's really good.
Spargle, it wasn't your fault those kids died. It was those crazy women. Why would anyone keep children in a nightmare zone like that? After talking to that Jester fellow, I think we just need to have a deeper conversation with him. Maybe let him know a little more about our situation. The crone's right. It sounds like he may be sympathetic to our cause and maybe even get us out of here.
And Spargle replied,
Yeah, that's true, Deckard. We don't need to make an enemy of him.
nice.
That's it.
Yep, that was it.
It's
So
amazing that any of us have ever kissed a girl. It's amazing.
so that's where you're at. So you
Hey,
now stand.
helpful tip. I don't know if you guys take advantage of the nightlight in Windows 10 for the monitor, but I've been using it every night, and it is so much easier on the eyes if you look at the computer a lot. It basically gets rid of like a lot of that harmful blue
It's
light.
like putting on them like yellow, lightly tinted glasses.
Dude, my eyes have like I've used getting really bad double vision and blurry vision the past like couple weeks because I've been staring at my computer because there's nothing else to do. So this light has been helping so much. It's like a night light.
What is it
So-
under?
Yeah, if you just
Night
right
light.
click,
Display
like the
settings.
night mode on the iPhone.
if you right click
Yep,
on your
same
display
idea.
settings, it's I think it's so displays right click desktop display settings. It's literally like after your monitor
Oh
displays
yeah.
night light. Holy shit. It changed everything for me the past few days. So
Nice, man. I'll try it.
oh
I just turned it on.
Cool.
Kind of an orangish hue.
So, I went in with Spargle and Thoradin, but I didn't really talk. Like I was just
No.
standing there like a mute.
correct.
Yeah.
You did go in? I didn't
did.
remember that.
Yeah, and it was a small storefront. We didn't want to play the game of how many people can we fit in the small store. So
Right.
Deckard left, and it was just me and you.
Yeah.
But I think we need to go back in. I don't think it matters who goes in, but I think our approach needs to be maybe, one of the more smooth talkers here tries to say, like, listen, we really need that thing. We need that toy. Try and be nice about it, and then do the whole good cop, bad cop thing.
Got it. Okay, and just to recap, so he hid the toy, and then you took his hat.
Yeah, so we saw the toy. He talked about the toy that he eventually hid, and I expressed interest in it, and I think I even offered to buy it. And then he either him or the monkey hit it. One of them moved it and got rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of tapped it. Like he it was.
Yeah, he knocked it behind the counter and was like,
Yeah.
that one's not for sale. And then
Yeah.
you were like,
Got it.
wait, what is it? And he's like,
Right.
it's not for sale.
Like when
And then what are
Pippin
the
tried
toys
to
we
grab
have?
the
What are the
Palantir.
toys that
Yeah.
we got?
We got. Let's see Slack. Let's take a quick review.
Just for my conversation's sake.
So a headless doll,
Yep.
miniature gallows, set of wooden nesting dolls. Those are like those fucking toys that get smaller and smaller. Like they're egg shaped or whatever, and they get smaller and smaller inside each other. Wooden string mobile, wind up musical merry-go-round, ventriloquist dummy, and then I got Blinsky's hat, which smells like old Parmesan cheese.
Oh,
All right.
God.
So unless someone else wants to go in, I'll go into character here. Well, unless anybody else wants to go in, I'm happy to do it. But he's seen me, but I'm happy to go in there. I haven't had a conversation with him.
Yeah, I don't know if he would even know that you were with us, though. You know what I mean? You were just kind of in the doorway.
All right. Well, let me go back in there and see if I can.
I think you and the big guy should go in, and then I tap.
I agree. I
Alark.
think you two could go.
I think
Mark.
you should do
I'll go in
good
with
cop, bad cop. Not bad cop, bad cop. Good cop, bad cop.
All right.
I'll go in with you.
One of you guys sweet talks, and then if he doesn't comply, fucking Alaric just throws him against the wall, and he's like, "Listen, you fat motherfucker." You start flexing on him, like
I'm gonna say just that too.
There
you
might be
slap the
up
shit out of
there.
him.
You got a fireball in you.
Pull his pants down, humiliate him, smack his ass, peg him right in the building. Who cares? Sorry,
Jesus.
that escalated. Sorry, guys.
All right. So I'm gonna go in, and Alaric, you're gonna come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
I go in.
Me and Spargle at the glass like this, like two little kids, just like beginning.
So it's been like 5 or 10 minutes, maybe,
Yeah.
since you guys walked out. Okay. So yeah, you come back in and Blinsky's standing almost right where he was before. You actually see him stacking up silver coins. He's got about 5. He's got about 9 stacks of 5. He's like, it's like when a little kid gets an allowance and he's like so excited by the huge amount of money he just got, and you're like, yeah, dude, it was $5. Don't get too excited. But he's just like, just like going over it and counting it and recounting. But he spins around as you guys walk in the door, and he says, "Oh, is there an issue with one of the toys I sold you, or did I give you the wrong change?" He's looking at you. He's looking at you, Deckard.
Okay. No, I wasn't really with those guys. I hang out with them a little bit, but I don't really.
I see. Well, as you may have overheard, I have sold all of my toys. I haven't had a customer in 3 weeks until those other folks that were here when you were in here.
Yeah, I was curious, why haven't you had any customers? Do people just not want toys around here?
No, they don't seem to like my toys. It's if I didn't make decorations for the festivals, I would be living on the streets.
That's kind of weird. Never been to a town where the kids don't like toys. Is it off limits here?
No. In fact, the Baron encourages children to play with toys and to be happy. I just don't think they like my designs.
Got it. Wait, so there's really no toys left? Nothing.
But I am gonna get started on them right away.
Can you tell me, are we safe in this town here? Is this a safe place for outsiders?
It's the only safe place that we know of, as long as you remain happy and participate in all the festivities.
As long as you remain happy and participate in all the festivities.
Sounds like a fucking cult, man.
Dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right,
Yeah.
ISIS.
All right, racist. As long as you remain happy.
Let me ask you, what do you know about Strahd? Are you familiar with Strahd?
When you say Strahd, he kind of like.
I
does a
think
thing
at
where-
this point, as Deckard says that, if I'm like near him, I would kind of like grab the back of his arm, like his tricep area, and squeeze it like a concerned girlfriend. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Why are you saying that?
Don't
Why
say
you tell
that.
my mom?
Don't
Why you tell
yeah,
my mom
don't-
we're-
right.
And I look at Alaric and I just give him a look, and all the look says is, "Dude, I got 6 charisma, man."
You just go.
Yeah, so
Sorry, dude, I'm an idiot.
Blinsky looks and he says, well, that's why we're all here. Yes, Strahd is scary stories of Strahd, but we have not been. We've been safe here. We've been, and we will be safe here. We trust the Baron.
Oh God, who's we?
All of us, everyone who lives and enjoys the safety of Vallaki.
And how long you been in Vallaki?
Oh, well, I've been here for very many years. I had a mentor who I learned from, and he taught me some things. In fact, he was a master of the craft of toy making. But unfortunately, he passed many years ago, and I took over his business, and haven't been quite as successful as he. But I'm working towards it.
Well, that's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that he passed. It's never easy, but what made him such a great toy maker? I feel like there might have been something special about his toys.
He says, well, since you mentioned the Dark Lord, he just want to get his name right. My master was named Von Weirg. And his name was Fritz von Weirg, just a master, great inventor. It is said that his greatest invention that I strive to achieve was to build a clockwork man, a true functioning autonomous doll. And it is said that doll still exists, but no one in these lands will ever get it, will ever see it or retrieve it. And then way under his breath, he says, "It's in the castle."
Ooh.
He says, "But," he
Think
says,
he's
"I tell
squealing.
you," he says, "if you You and your large friend behind you are seem to be adventurers of a sort, or seem to be well equipped, more so than anyone that from this town. He says, if I'm right, I wouldn't, and you were to retrieve this masterpiece for me, you would have my debt, my gratitude, my shop, even, he looks and Piccolo's over in the corner eating a nut, busting open a walnut on the table, and he goes, even my monkey you could have.
Well, what about what about that toy that you have behind the counter there? We get that too?
He's like, he looks around, kind of like the kid that just got caught eating a cookie out of the can. He's like, well, toy? I have no more toys. I don't know what you speak.
Oh, I'm just playing, man. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, the one that's right in front of you in the under the counter there.
You heard, you saw. Really, it isn't of anything of consequence. It's just that it was commissioned by somebody that I do not want to get on the wrong side of. The toy is meaningless itself. It's of no value to anyone but this rather imposing person who has asked me to make this for him.
God, all right. Paying you pretty well for it.
Well, not at all.
That doesn't sound like much of a deal.
Well,
You look like
it's
you have to
but
be
I keep my health in my life, so that's a fair trade for Blinsky.
I keep my health.
How much
Is
for
this like a
Briggs?
butt plug for Strahd? Like what is this?
Who? It sounds like somebody might be taking advantage of you.
Well, you do what you need to survive in Valaki, and this is a fair trade-off to make a doll once a week or once every couple weeks for this man. I assure you, it is of no interest to you. And if you are interested in a commissioned toy, let's just talk through a design, and I'll get started right away.
All right. Well, who's the toy for?
It would put me at risk to tell you. I'm so sorry.
So Alaric, half listening, is gonna kind of like tap
Here
Deckard
we
on the
go.
shoulder and
Here we
say,
go.
Are we really here to buy toys?
Deckard turns out, nah, I ain't buying shit. Trying to find out why this guy was on that fucking card. Said he's like a transformer. She said there's more than meets the eye.
All right. Keep going on with your smooth talking then. Seems to be working.
Well, what's his name? Belinsky.
Blinsky, yeah.
Belinsky.
Yeah.
You guys kept calling him Zelensky, which was
Yeah,
great.
he's the auto parts king.
Yeah,
He makes
Bismarck.
car parts for the American working man.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I am.
We're getting like
He's,
El Grasso in stereo now. This is going way fucking pulp culture now.
Sorry.
No, it's great. I'm excited.
Well, Belinsky, if there's anything we can do for you, let us know. I feel like we don't like it when people are being taken advantage of.
Well,
And
Hell yeah, brother.
he says, "Thank you. Yes, besides you and the carnival man, you're the only people that have been nice to me in the last several months, and I would be happy to make any of my future toys to provide to you at a discount." He says, "What? Your friend there? He's rather large. Why is he just standing there?"
he's my muscle. I'm kind of a big pussy, so if I get into a fight,
Just laying all the cards out.
That's it.
he takes care of it for me.
Huh? Well, yeah, he certainly looks like he could hold his own.
He can. He'll kill a motherfucker. So I'll tell you what, like this person who's messing with you, he doesn't want to run into this guy.
He looks and he cocks his head and he thinks and he says, It would be a good fight, I tell you. It really would.
Let me ask you, is it the big bastard that's making you make these toys? Is it this asshole that I saw above the square looking down on the people in the...
So when you say that, his eyes start shifting around and he says, well, I have to get started on my toys now. If you're not buying anything, I would really appreciate that you come back later when I have more. Thank you very much for coming. He's extremely nervous right now.
All right. All right. And before I'm going to get ready to leave, but looking around the shop, looking at him, do I see any signs of him had the crap beat out of him? Is he beat up at all? Is there any sign of vandalism or something having been broken in here?
Are you more interested about his physical health or just the environment around here?
Let's start with his physical health.
Make a medicine check.
Medicine.
So you find out he's got type 2 diabetes. He's got high blood pressure.
Damn, is that the first medicine check of the game?
Might have been.
There's
not a
one
natural
animal
thing.
handling and one medicine.
Oh, well, that was a good roll.
Nice.
Yeah. So you don't think that he's had any physical duress whatsoever. You don't feel that. It doesn't look like he's had any injuries. He actually even looks a little bit soft, so to speak. Like he's not been outside of the shop. Maybe he's a little pale. You don't think he gets out too often, and he doesn't look like he's recently gotten a beat down or anything like that.
He's not pallid looking or anything?
No.
Okay. All right. I say, all right, well, Blinsky, thanks, man. Appreciate all the info.
He says, yes.
Hope everything goes all right with that commission. We're going to roll out. Thanks for the chat.
Great. Yeah, come back anytime. Tell everybody about Blinsky Toys and how successful we are now. I just sold all my stock. We are in high demand.
Okay. See you, brother.
He turns back and starts stacking his coins up in different ways, making little pyramids out of them and stuff.
Sounds like fucking every Eastern Bloc barber I used to go to as a kid.
Yeah, hey.
All right. Well, when we leave, I go out and share that I found out absolutely nothing except that there's a mechanical toy.
Yeah, unless we wanted to go full Blackwin, I don't think we were going to get anything else out of him.
What kind of toy?
You know what though? I think I think it's okay. Cause,
Yeah, no, it is okay. It's fine.
Because we could go in and I mean I don't think he's gonna be a problem for us to overpower, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's good to
He
keep him
doesn't
in
know
our good
shit.
graces right now and have a connection here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm happy with that.
And from the sounds of it, I don't know if the toy... I think the fact that he's being forced to commit... I think the important piece of information right now is for some reason this big dude is commissioning toys.
Yeah.
Do we think it's Izek he's talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
What do
Good
you
stuff.
say about that special toy? You said something about the.
About how many different vibration settings it had?
Are you asking me?
No,
Kinda
I'm
rotating head.
asking Decker. You said something when you first walked out, right? About he's got some kind of special toy or whatever, right?
Yeah, well, what was his mentor's name? Fritz von Weir?
Your friends run.
Yeah, it was. Yep, Fritz von Weirg.
Okay.
I'll type it in.
Yeah, his mentor built how did you put it?
A clockwork person, something like that.
It's like a self...
An autonomous clock which is a
Autonomous
cyborg without flesh.
Just saw a Doctor Who that did that. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, he built the
Oh, yeah, the clock
toy that's
No,
in
that's still okay.
Captain Ravenloft.
Yeah, clock people. Yeah.
Yep.
To vacuum
That's
or
right.
to throw it away?
Not the ones that are like trash
Oh,
cans, right,
okay.
Matt? I fucking hate that.
Not the
show.
Daleks. No, Doctor Who is amazing. Not the Daleks. No, not the Daleks.
Doctor Who is not amazing.
I think it is. It's like Hercules, but it's British. I mean, come on.
So that
It's not a lot
clockwork
better after the
doll, is there any significance to it? Do you think, or
The clock people you talking about, Punch?
Yeah, the thing that it seemed like well, I didn't hear the whole thing.
Yeah, so essentially he said his master, Fritz von Winkle, whatever the fuck his name was.
I wrote it in 20.
I know, Fritz von Weirg.
I got it.
He's was the master toy maker, and fucking fat baloney Zelensky boy learned how to make toys from him.
Yeah.
And in the castle, which I'm assuming is Castle Ravenloft, where
He's
you
gonna
know,
be a sub boss, dude.
where Count Dracula is, aka Strahd, he's got that cyborg person, fucking war mech rolling around that place, and he wants that thing. He wants us to bring it back to
in
him.
That
Watch for
castle.
Wigan.
I thought he meant like the burgomasters.
Okay,
or
don't. Sorry.
Burgomaster.
No,
Goodbye.
this clock thing is in the castle, and he wants us to get it for him.
That
Yeah.
castle.
Yeah, I'll get it for you. Yeah, I'm right on it, pal. You
Yeah.
fat fuck.
But also, he's like, I'll give you my whole shop. Like, okay, we already bought all the toys, so fucking thanks for the log
Yeah, I don't want
cabin.
your fucking stinky
What a-
shop.
Here's some real estate in Valaki. It's like buying, swampland in Florida.
Go buy a house in Roosevelt.
I got a bridge to sell you.
To the tavern?
Yeah, let's get a drink. I'm thirsty.
Okay.
And then
All right.
Sal shows up, and he just starts fucking killing the entire party. It's crazy.
Sal's a bard. I got news for you.
Don't tell me anything.
Is that true?
No, I'm kidding. I don't know what Sal's doing.
Oh, I wish I was a bard.
You don't. Sal didn't tell you.
No, I didn't. I told him not to tell me. I said I don't want to know.
I miss my
I
bard.
want to. Can I tell one person what I'm fucking doing? I need help.
No.
Crocus. Show
Yeah,
me.
me.
Yeah, you tell
Yeah,
your
there
DM,
you go.
brother.
You
How
told a
about
person.
talking to me about it?
Matt,
Wait,
did
you
he
have-
really ruin
I didn't
Star
tell
Wars for you?
What, Will?
Did he really ruin Star Wars for you?
I didn't ruin Star
I've
Wars.
had 2 of the 3 new Star Wars ruins for me. So
By Dan Crocus?
That wasn't by me.
no, one
No.
was by a different person, but the third one was by Crocus.
That's not true. You've
It's
seen.
so
the third-
weird,
we
though,
had
'cause it's
this-
not
I
like
haven't
Crocus to,
seen
like,
the third. I haven't
overstep
Well,
his
there also,
boundaries.
to be fair to
Fuck off.
Crocus,
First
there
of
has
all,
to
I
be
didn't
like
ruin
a
anything. It doesn't-
statute of
What I
limitations
said
here, right?
doesn't even
Yeah,
happen.
there does.
Fuck off.
No, there is a statute of
No.
limitations. If you're telling me what happened in, the first RoboCop, I get it. That movie's been out for 35 years, but Star Wars has been out like maybe a year and change.
First of all, whatever I even said isn't even accurate.
Yeah, I was gonna
Second
say,
of
I
all-
don't think he's.
Well, that's why I kind of forgot it already because, let's be real.
Yeah.
Half the shit, it's
But
like.
you guys were talking about it. Didn't you guys have a conversation where it's like, has everyone seen this shit? I
don't
didn't
know.
fucking ruin
Honestly,
anything.
whatever you
And
said,
also,
I
the
forgot.
movie sucks dick. It's the okay, good, because it sucks. It's fucking awful.
Oh my
It's like a
God.
fart in a wind tunnel.
I just know that. Well, I'm not going to say it. Whatever. All right, so let's roll. Let's give Dan
Oh
the
yeah.
floor.
What? No, what were you gonna say? No, what say?
I don't want to
Say.
spoil anything for the Twitch viewers, okay?
Good point.
We have tremendous viewership, okay? I don't want to ruin anything. Let
I
Dan have
mean-
the floor.
All right.
I ran. I flipped us over to the city map where we're at. So the little. Let's see. Nope, I lied. You're right here, right where that red dot is the toy maker shop. You were heading towards this. You were heading towards where I don't know if you guys still see that pink line.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was you, Matt.
It was,
drawing that
sorry.
out. Yep. No, that's good. So you leave the shop as a group and continue.
Yep.
Okay. Ismark and Irina are like, are we good here? I mean, we've spent a lot of time at a toy store. But okay.
Who's that? Wait, who
Yeah,
are
would you
you?
rather be with Straw?
Ismark.
Is Mark? Shut
he-
the fuck up.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry,
I'm
sir.
kidding, how that- Dude, we had some shit to take care of, man.
Okay.
Weren't you there when you saw the cards? Come on, man.
Oh, right. Yeah. So did you find anything out about that or?
No, he's sealed tight.
Okay. Right.
Okay. What a dick. What a passive aggressive dick.
He says, yeah, well, yeah, I think getting to the tavern sounds good. I'm good with
Yeah.
that. Too.
First round's on you, Bismarck.
Hey, I need to take 2 minutes to my kid cut her leg. So
Yeah.
Oh no!
Do it.
All right, well,
medicine
you guys
check.
want to take a quick 5 minute?
I'll do a
Go
potty
grab a
break.
drink and stuff. Hey,
I'll do-
Sal, just so you know, we go till about 11. Is that good for you? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And I really try to hit 11, give or take a few minutes if I can. So, all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sweet. All right, I'll take 5.
But then there's the after party though. Don't forget.
Yeah, you're usually gone for most of that.
Me?
Yeah.
I was there until the very end last time.
But not all the time. Not all the time.
No, not all the time. No, because normally I'm I'm a tired boy.
I know. Why am I more tired because I'm doing nothing now? Why am I more tired?
Because we're not moving, dude.
Oh God, I'm like Jabba the Hutt. I just sit in my chair all day and I'm just like
I know.
wired into the internet.
Dude, sometimes I'll take a nap at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, that's way too early for a fucking nap.
Oh my! I feel like
other
Mojo
day-
from the X-Men.
So listen, I watched the Death Wish remake last night from 2:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the morning.
Wait, the one with Bruce
And
Willis?
then, yes.
That
was
wait, is
amazing.
that's when he's a doctor, right?
Yes, it was amazing. Eli Roth directed it.
That
The guy who did
movie
Hostel?
was amazing. Amazing.
What, Hostel?
No, God, no,
or
God,
Death Wish?
God, no. Death Wish. The new
Yeah.
Death Wish with
Remember when he
Bruce Willis
drops the
was.
car? Yeah, when he
Well,
drops
look-
the car on the guy's fucking head.
I don't want to. Yeah, I thought of Adam the whole time.
It's not it's not a spoiler.
Oh look,
It's not a spoiler.
sure, but now
oh,
when
he
somebody
kills the guy.
sees the car,
You're
they're
not
gonna
gonna
go.
kill me? No, Jack. Well, of course, but anyone who sees the car is gonna go. Clearly, he's gonna use the car to crush the guy's head because he stays under. He's like, "Hey, who the fuck are you?"
Let me tell you, it was nice to
He's
see.
totally being.
Why don't you do a podcast?
See what?
I don't get it.
Why we should? I mean, help me do it. Let's do it
Help
together.
me
What, am I
help.
gonna
I
just
don't.
talk into a microphone?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Well, that's true.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
I'm
really do
saying
it.
talk to me. You want me to just be like, "Hey, you guys, you see Death Wish, and you see the fucking car, and of course he's gonna drop it on the head because the guy was like, "Hey, motherfucker, we're close." He says it like 3 times while he's still under the car, and it's like, "Hey, that's Bruce Willis. Maybe don't be under a car when Bruce Willis is there
That
because he's
movie,
gonna kill you."
like, it was so good. I
The
took a risk.
brains.
I know, there's hamburger meat everywhere.
I didn't know. I was not going to watch it because I heard that it was garbage, and then I saw that Eli Roth directed, and I was like, "Oh, there's going to be some good shit."
Any movie that someone who is in the Expendables trilogy is in, I will watch it.
Yes. There's like 4 Expendable movies. I've never seen a single one of them. No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Escape Plan. I haven't seen Escape Plan 1, 2, or 3.
So the first Escape Plan is actually pretty decent.
Is that the one where it's him and Arnold in the smart car, and they're like, "I'm too small to be in this vehicle"?
No, that might be the second one because that wasn't in the first.
No,
one.
Arnold's in the first one. Arnold's not. gonna
Yes,
be
he
in the
is.
fucking
He is.
sequel.
Yeah, but I only saw the first one.
Listen to me.
This car's too
Listen
fucking
to me.
small.
This car, we cannot both fit in here. We're both the.
It was
80s
good.
action movie star.
They action movie star come to Planet Hollywood. It's great. It's really they play off
love
of each
Planet
other so well.
Did you see Last Rambo? It's on Amazon Prime.
I haven't watched it yet.
Or
I'm
Last
like
Blood?
I'm like delaying it because I don't want Rambo to be over. Have you ever
I
done
haven't
that?
seen the one before. I didn't see. Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, you're like. I didn't see the one where he goes to Cambodia and kills like 130 people.
Bro, 130? Yeah, in like 2 minutes. In like,
Like 1,000.
yeah, bro, he kills
Why
like
is he doing
1,000
that?
people. Dude, he takes
I
it.
thought they officially.
I don't want to spoil anything because that seems to be
No,
what,
you're not spoiling it. Just
that
tell me.
seems
just tell
to
me,
be what we're doing now.
Just
okay?
tell me. Oh, okay. Listen. Oh, fuck off. Okay. You
He
see Star
so,
Wars,
so
fuck you.
listen,
It's
listen.
fucking
It's
mad.
okay. It's fine. He in one part in the movie he gets on an anti-tank gun, which the shells. Okay, these are tremendous shells. Okay,
Yeah, 50,
These-
50, yeah.
they're like this big,
We have
this
the best
long.
shells.
They're about this big. They're anti-tank armor shells, and this is like a 50. So it's a 50 cal machine gun, and he's on it, and he's not shooting tanks. He's shooting,
He's shooting
people. and
Do
there's
they
just
explode? Do they
there's
pop?
bro, there's fucking bones exploding. There's blood getting. There's like people's legs getting blown out, and you see like just chunks of meat and blood.
Link established.
And like, if you charged me $20 to watch that 4-minute scene, I would have watched it 4 times in a row. That's how good it was, and I would have
So you're
paid
saying
each
it's
time.
worse than when he had the explosive arrows in like Rambo 3, where he's like
And
in the
look,
desert.
look, Rambo 3
Okay,
is
so you
amazing
need to do
because
one.
they're surrounded by basically all of Soviet Russia in the desert, and the sergeant goes,
Oh, was that the
"Johnny,
Afghanistan war?
yeah," he goes, "What do you want to do, Johnny?" And he just looks at him and he goes, "Fuck him." And there's like 6,000 Russians, and he just starts firing. At all of
Link
them.
established.
They let him back in the military after the first movie. I feel like they should have been like, you're not allowed to.
Listen, it seems like you need to do a deep dive into the Rambo series, and I don't want to spoil anything, but you should
Well,
watch.
I watched them all when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you were a kid, you should watch them all now and as an adult, and you'll be like, "Wow, this is actually really fucked up. This guy's got some
Was
really
two
bad."
good?
Yeah, they're all good. He's
He
got
just
like,
wants to be. The whole movie is he wants to be left alone. Leave me alone.
just leave me alone. He's got terrible
can't get a
PTSD. Terrible PTSD, and like they just bully him
He barely
around.
kills anyone in the first movie. All right, well, you need to see the new one because it's him versus a drug cartel.
Well, yeah,
Which
you
is-
need to
you-
you
that's
need
not
to
spoiler.
watch the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. You need to watch them
Oh
all
no,
again.
I've seen the first one like 4 times. I've seen the first one.
You fucking blew up this
Sequels.
kid, man. He came out and he fucking blew up.
And I
Fucking
started
guts.
taking human growth hormone, right?
Yeah, well, look, you gotta
Because
stay
he
in
does
shape,
not look.
right?
He's not as ripped. He's not as well. If you look at him in the third movie compared to him in the first movie, he looks like a normal guy who lifted weights. Versus then, like suddenly, his like skin is like sucked into the pectoral muscle, so it's like a defined.
Well, yeah, the latter half of the
Adrian.
'80s. The latter half of the '80s.
Sorry
I mean,
about
he
that,
was-
everybody.
That's all right. We're just talking shop about Sly Stallone.
Sly Stallone.
All right, watch the Rambo. Watch it.
You watched the
Last
last
Blood.
one, the
Oh,
before
Last
this. You
Blood.
watched 4, and I'll watch
I
5.
didn't watch it. No, I didn't. Well, isn't it just called Rambo?
Yeah, but
The fourth
but we're
one?
gonna watch Rambo. I'll watch Last Blood.
All right, all right,
We'll shake on it.
all right. I'll do it.
Shake on
Here. Coronavirus elbow bump.
it. All right.
I don't wanna
That's
get
good stuff.
infected. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited now. I didn't know that he kills a lot of people.
Oh, dude, that's all he does
well,
in
he's
the
still
movie.
got the long hair too. In the new one, he's got the short Rambo hair, or he's got the short. What's the other movie? Rocky. Yeah. You saw Creed 2, right?
Yeah, we could chat later about this. I don't want to hold up the D&D session for 6 other people.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Is everyone back?
Yeah.
See, I keep waiting for Sal's thing to come back,
No,
but it's,
Joe.
he doesn't.
I'm living in 2003.
All
Oh,
right, we good? We good?
I'm here.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No sweat. It was good.
Well-
Good timing
Well, I'm
for a
not even
break.
playing. I'm just here to fucking distract everyone. So we're definitely good.
Which is weird because that's not something you would normally do.
And that's what you do when you're playing. So how's that any different?
I know, but it's even somehow more now.
All right.
At least I'm not derailing the campaign. All right, go.
As you guys are sort of winding your way through town, it's getting dark. It's about 7, 8-ish at night now, so it's well into dusk. You definitely notice it's not hard to spot the tavern as you get towards the as you kind of turn the corner at the end of where your little pink line is that you were drawing where you were going. You'll see this let's see. I'll move you guys around here. You see right here, right where I dropped you, you see a lot of people kind of actually moving in and out of this one building. It's got a billowing chimney. Thornton, you first just catch the scent of
Oh.
spiced smoking meat. It actually smells good. It makes you salivate. Deckard, you are instantaneously nauseous from the exact same smell. You just it's almost like to you it's like you just breathed in rotting garbage. But for everybody else, It's the smell of a barbecue.
So I turn to the group and I say, "Oh, lads, I think they got salty pork here."
I don't think it's pork, brother.
What makes you say that?
Smell it. Wolf.
Oh, all right, pig, wolf, same shit. Let's go eat.
Oh no.
And you do see you see a lot of people coming in and out of that one building. As you get a little bit closer, gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large 2-story wooden building with a stone foundation and sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall.
Decker gets out his crossbow and shoots all the ravens.
No!
I'm kidding.
No, we're not doing that.
Keep, no,
No,
you're
no,
keeping
don't
the
do that.
legacy alive. Blackwind is alive. Do it. No, he already said it. You can't fucking take back in this game.
Hey, how about the dungeon masters does that?
I assumed that was a joke, but if you'd like to, just let me know. Just for roll an attack if that's what you're doing.
Now he's considering it.
For Blackwind.
Do it for me. No, actually, ravens are very nice. Man, you guys really don't talk about Blackwind that much. You guys hung out with me and then you were just...
Dan,
Yo, what's that?
is the smell unbearable to me? Like, on a scale of 1 to throwing up all over Thornton, where am I?
Yeah, like at like a 4. Like imagine like if you walked into a restaurant like Applebee's and you're like sitting down to eat a meal, but they had their sewage backed up and you're expected to still eat the meal. You could do it.
Jesus.
You'd be like grossed out the whole time, but you're not like running and you're not physically throwing up.
Okay.
Sounds like a nice night.
So you're
at
still gonna
Applebee's.
eat those half off appies.
Right.
Ugh.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
I run in.
You run
all
in.
I'm
Okay.
like a little kid on Christmas morning running down the stairs.
So we all heard this. What? I mean, we're all together. Everybody, we all heard what everybody said.
I think so.
Right? Like we okay.
I
Yeah, I mean,
so.
at this point, I'd probably be right with Thornton. I mean, I'm so to me, I'm smelling some good shit. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. I moved you guys over. I don't know. Hopefully, are you seeing this?
Let me zoom out a little bit because
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's at the
Sorry.
bottom of the. You're gonna have to scroll to the bottom and
I see it.
zoom in. Yeah. It's
does everybody
kinda-
see it?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Dude, if we were like in Vegas, we would never get into a club or a tavern.
Our
way too
characters
many-
or us in real
Way
life?
too many dudes.
Oh, I see.
Good thing we're in the 7th circle of hell.
Good thing
Right.
Arena's like a Victoria's Secret model, and she can get
Yeah.
at least a few in.
Looks like
We're
there's a
like
lot
her
of
entourage.
chicks in here.
So to clarify that's just the tokens. So they're not all
Oh.
female, unfortunately. Yeah, it's.
I want
should
food
be
anyway.
though.
I'm good.
But I kind of got the general order here. If you guys want to just sort of move yourselves into the inn there, go ahead.
Wherever
I'm
you're going, Thornton, I'll be right behind you.
You're like, I'm
I'll be like over the other side of this table.
I'll grab a chair at this seat, whatever here. I'm supposed to be at this same table as Alaric, but here, I'll go here. Here we go.
Deckard slowly meanders in and sits down.
Ooh.
Does Irina sit in my lap?
Arena just jumped right in your lap there. She's like, all right, let's do it.
Whoa, my lab. What are we doing?
And Ismark and Irina follow behind you. Irina does sit down kind of by you guys. I mean, even though Deckard, you're always saying weird shit to her, she still trusts you and feels like you're there to protect her. So she sits next to you and Spargle. Thornton rushes up to the bar. Is that what's happening?
Yep.
Okay. Thornton, you're greeted by a Barovian-looking woman. She's really well dressed though, and like kind of well put together.
Is she
Older. She's got a lot of heavy clothes on, so it's hard to tell. She's kind of middle-aged though.
Got it,
She's like,
okay.
50-ish, 45, 50-ish.
Okay.
Really getting fucking up there.
Really getting fucking up there.
Perfect.
No, about that, and she's got a really
Bitchin' body.
genuine kind of smile on her face, and she's like, she looks around at all of you, and she seems to light up. She's like, "Oh, we've got some visitors. This is exciting. This is definitely going to be a great night. You there? Can I get you and your friends some drinks, some food?"
Aye, what's your finest ale you have?
Well, ale. You mean like a beer or a mead or more of a hoppy kind of thing,
Mead,
right?
yes.
We have wine. Unfortunately, that's all we really have in terms of spirits.
Why would you say that? If you didn't, all right, we'll take wine. Just give us a bottle of wine.
Okay. Would you like the Great Mash number 3 or Red Dragon Crush?
You hear Deckard. Red Dragon Crush, Thornton. Red Dragon Crush. Always.
Sure. Got it, Deckard. And then I go, whatever is the cheapest.
She goes. She looks at Deckard, who was shouting that, and she goes for the top shelf, and then you say that, and she goes, and she reaches down and she pulls out you notice that as she was reaching for that top shelf, there was only like 2 of those bottles left. And so she looks and then you see her reach under the counter, and she pulls up 2 big like almost those like champagne bottles that they smash on a boat when they're christening it. Those size bottles, which have big labels on them that say Great Mash number 3. And she puts 2 of those on the counter, and she goes, "Is that good for now, or you want a few more? Those are 3 copper each."
We'll take 7 of them.
I'm just picturing a box of Franzia.
Oh God.
Punch. Remember when Greer was? Yeah, never mind. That was a good story back in the day. And she says 7. She goes, "Oh, we're having a party tonight."
Yes, we are. What's your name?
She goes. My name. She goes, "My name is Danica. I'm one of the proprietors here. Me and my husband run this place."
Oh, Danica, have you ever drunk with a dwarf?
I think it's been a little while.
Good, because you're going to tonight. You and your husband.
Oh, great. Well, I'm sure he'll be out soon. He's actually back in the kitchen. Should I shout back an order?
I'll go get him. And then I run back behind the counter. I'm excited. There's food. There's drinks.
Right,
She's
wait.
nice.
She's going to try to grab you. Do you, just gently grab you? Do you want to try to skirt around her?
No. When she grabs me, I stop. I don't want to intrude on her.
She goes, "Oh, yeah." She's like, "That's not for customers back there. I'm sure he wouldn't, And she goes, Erwin, come. We've got a.
Erwin, really? That's his name, Erwin? Oh God! Here we go.
She's like,
He's gonna be like, I like.
we have some travelers from outside of town.
Make sure they pay before they start drinking. I don't like the looks of these people. Oh.
The man though that suddenly emerges from out of the door.
Watch,
the door
Goliath,
here to the north.
watch.
He's got a he's a burly guy. He's got a
of course.
He's got a big Doug Rice beard, but gray with like white stripes through it. He also has a really kind, friendly look to him, though. A Santa Claus kind of jovial, cheery face as he comes running out, excited what his wife is saying.
All right, so I put my hand out to shake his hand, and I'm very excited. And I say, "Oh, nice to meet you. Are we drinking tonight or what?"
He puts his hand out and he goes, "I can tell you're not from these lands. It's great to have travel." He starts to say adventurers and corrects himself and says travelers here in Vallaki.
Yeah, it's been a long road, and I want to eat some meats and drink some alcohol.
Well, you've come to the right place. We've got plenty he starts to say plenty. He goes, "We have plenty of food. We have plenty of food. We'll go. Maybe start easy on the drinks, though." He says, "What can I get you to eat, though?" He says, "Are you are you staying? Are you staying the night?"
I look back to my group. Boys, you want to stay the night? I'm pretty tired.
Time is it anyway?
Yeah,
It's about
3?
7 or 8 p.m.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna crash. I'm getting drunk, and we are crashing after this.
He says, well, if you're all staying, he says the hot beet soup and our warm baked bread is included with a room.
Orin, I got to be honest. I'm a little tired of the beet soup. Do you have anything different?
He says, well, of course. He says, after the last festival, we have a whole locker full of wolf meat, the freshest. We've been making wolf steaks. We have pulled wolf, as we call it, which is more slow cooked and then sort of torn up and sort of mixed in with some beet soup.
That's good.
Sounds great.
Deckard goes, you see him go, and he spits out like a little bit of like, you know when you throw up just a little bit, like you ate too much and like he like spits that out on the floor.
Like Rick and
Do you
Morty.
A
have-
little barf nugget.
Is there any duck meat?
Duck. No. We get fish occasionally, but people haven't been going out on the lake lately. Really, I hate to tell you, our menu is wine, beet soup, and wolf steak right now, and plenty of bread.
All right, so we'll take all of that except the cowboy. He doesn't want the wolf meat. He's not so good with that, but he'll take a lot of beet soup.
Okay, well, the beet soup is complimentary with your night's stay. So he starts to point and count. He says, "How many rooms?"
1, 2, 3.
3 rooms. 3 rooms. Okay, that's 3 Electrum pieces. You can stay the night, and all the beet soup and bread is complimentary.
Oh, he's gonna lose out on that deal. Let me tell you. I don't have Electrum. I have gold and silver. Don't you guys have Electrum?
So
I don't
what is
either.
10 Electrum, 1 silver, something like that? Or
Unless
5
because I
Electrum?
had 3 gold and I spent 45, and then I think I converted it to silver instead of Electrum. Should I have converted?
Yeah,
that
but
to Electrum?
he'll take either. He sees you digging through your coin purse, and he says, we don't mind silver here at all. Silver and gold, it all spends the same."
All right. So I'll slap.
I gotta
3 silver
remember
each.
what. Yeah, so an Electrum is worth 5 silver.
Don't
So-
give up your silver.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the silver. I think that's.
Yeah.
But I can't convert it. I'm not an alchemist, right? I can't just convert it, can I? Or
If I bring you Electrum, overhearing this conversation,
okay.
Deckard walks up and puts, what was it, 3 Electrum per room?
Per yeah, but I don't want to get nitpicky, right? So like I had gold, and then I went to Zelensky's. Did he give me silver as change, or did he give me Electrum? I don't want to be nitpicky, but I do think it's relevant considering the silver situation in this place.
So let's see what happened. You had 2 gold. It was
I
all
had 3.
silver. It was silver. He exchanged the silver. He took the silver. He was stacking it up, and he gave you the change in silver too.
All right, so I have 255, 2 gold, 55 silver. Okay.
Somebody handed you 2 gold. I can't remember who it was, or you had 2 gold, and right? I think.
Or 3 gold. Was it 2 or 3?
I don't know. I give him, I don't know, 2 or 3 gold.
Okay.
In the loot
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
I think you said 2 gold. And
Okay.
then you bought like whatever it was like.
45 silver worth. He gave you
Right.
right. So you kept the gold, and he gave you 55 silver back.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Zelensky. But then Deckard walks up, and he's got a whole pouch of Electrum, and you throw him 3.
Well, how much
give
is
him
it?
3?
3 per
It-
room?
3 total.
9 for
1
the-
per room.
9.
3 total.
Oh,
I
yeah.
paid the whole thing.
Okay.
And how much for the wine?
The wine is about 21 copper, or like 2 silver so far.
Oh man. it's
So I
plenty-
throw
we like-
down
Bunch of
the
broke
3 Electrum,
motherfuckers.
and I throw down all the copper. So 21 copper.
Okay.
And I'll throw down an extra Electrum as a tip. So 4 Electrum.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, drinks on the cowboy.
And Erwin like takes the coin and he hands it over to his wife Danica. He says, you know, we're gonna have a great night. These guys are really ponying up for the good stuff. You know, why don't we throw in one bottle of the Red Dragon Crush, sort of complimentary, and tell the boys they can come out and help. It's getting crowded in here.
Oh, great. Really good stuff.
So Danica sort of leaves. The Irwin guy hands out a couple more bottles. As he hands you the Red Dragon Crush, Thornton, because you're the one that's kind of like grabbing it at the bar and you know, dish it. He says, I'm sorry. He goes, I really wish we had more of this. We've had some issues with our supply chain, so to speak. But you know, we're stocked up on the Great Mash number 3 though. So don't worry.
What's wrong with the supply chain?
Says, you know, the winery that provides this stock things have slowed down. I'm not sure what's going on there. He says, you know, actually we're almost completely out. I wouldn't. Please don't share that with the rest of the clientele. I don't want them to start looking for somewhere else. But
Irwin, I will not say a word, but I think you know what's going on. You could tell me.
You make a persuasion check.
Okay. Here we go. I always do terrible at these.
Go, Thornton.
20, baby. +2. Here we go. You ready for that 6 + 2?
Hey, it's not bad.
He says, honestly, I don't know. He says,
oh, you fucking loser. You know, Irwin, you know what's going on.
Says, actually, I need someone to find out. I got about 3 more days, depending on how much you guys party tonight. I got about 2 or 3 days left in my stock here, and I'm really nervous.
Irwin, maybe I need some silver to grease the wheels a little bit for some information.
He says, no. Go ahead, Sparkle.
No, a question. When we were in the Vistani camp, remember they had all that wine. What was it? Which was the one that they had? You guys remember which ones they had in stock?
I'm gonna go back a bit further here. So when Deckard came back to the party, basically, when I took that horse, they were like, "Hey, if you run in wherever you deliver this, they owe us." Now I think originally you told me I had to get Grape Smash number 3, but then I think
that wasn't.
Yeah,
we retcon that. I had that backwards, and I retconned it for you. It was the Red Dragon Crush that you were supposed to get. That the Vistani that ran the tavern in Barovia wanted from the captain at the camp.
Yeah,
yes.
And the captain's the one who makes the Red Dragon Crush, or he had it. I don't know if they make it, but I remember the captain. When we were partying with those guys, we were getting into the captain's stash, weren't we?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was the Red Dragon Crush?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the fireside.
Yelled at the guy the next day.
But to Irwin, to you, Thornton, he says, he goes, no, really, it's not a matter of coin. He goes, I'll make a lot more money off of the Red Dragon Crush if I can figure out what's going on here. He says, in fact, you look pretty capable. You know, the folks you came in here with are well more equipped than anyone I've seen in a while. If you could find out what's going on, you and your friends can stay here for free as long as you're in Vallaki.
So Irwin, and I put my hand on his shoulder. Where do you get your supply from?
Says there's a winery. It's called the Wizard of Wines.
That's a stupid name, but all right. Where is it in relation to Vallaki?
Look at the fucking map. I don't even know.
In fact, do you have a delivery coming anytime soon?
He says, well, that's the problem. The last several have arrived.
All right, I think our quest log just got a new quest.
There wouldn't be any problems with the Vistani along the roads, would there?
Are you asking him that?
Yeah.
He says, the Vistani. they're no trouble. I don't think, but I don't trust them either. So it's it's a good idea. It's very likely they could be hitting the caravans or the merchants on their way in. I really don't know. I don't have anybody that's well equipped enough to go that way. I just no, myself, my family, none of us around here can leave town. It's not far though. It's only a few miles to the west.
You can't leave town. Why can't you leave town?
Well, we don't feel safe outside of the city walls. I know the wolf population has been sort of culled in the last several weeks, but it's not smart to travel alone too
Deckard,
far.
do you blame him? This fucking place is crazy. We almost got killed 7 times just on the way to this town. See you, dude.
I get it.
See you, bud. See you, Crooks. Take care, bud.
So he says, well, no matter, worst case scenario, we'll maybe dilute some of the stock that we have and make do, and just keep our fingers crossed that next shipment will be in here soon. He goes, I don't know what the Baron and the festival goers are going to do without wine. Could get ugly.
All right,
he said,
cool. Well,
he says, he starts to say something when the front doors to the inn smash open. It's about 9:00 at night, and Thornton and everybody kind of looks around, but Thornton, you're the one that just sort of locks in on this figure walking in the door, and are in sudden shock as you are staring eye to eye for the first time that you've been in Barovia to another dwarf.
Whoa! This is great! So I slammed it. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
No. So let me pull something up here real quick. So what you see, you see a sort of middle-aged, well-built dwarf. He's tan. He's got a couple scars. Looks like he's been through some stuff. He's got black shoulder-length hair. Kind of medium build. He looks definitely like he's sort of ripped, but maybe a little smaller than you in terms of just. No, he looks about your size. Like you guys could kind of be a mold of each other in a way. And he walks in the door and he kind of like looks around. And go ahead, Sal. What does he get? What does he say? What does he do?
So I walk up to Thoradin, seeing another dwarf in this fucked up land. And I go,
I mean, really.
Hey, laddie. How you doing? It's good to see a friendly face here. My name's Ragnar from Gontogrim.
Another dwarf! Oh, this place is totally crazy. But it's nice to see a familiar face. Why don't you have a drink?
Tell you the truth, I was going to ask the same thing. I could use a good stiff drink. I've been getting harassed by wolves along the road. Some old battle axe told me that I was supposed to seek someone. I was going to find an ancient place named, I don't even know what the hell it was called. I need some food in me. But what the hell's going on in this place?
Yeah, come eat. Pull up a chair. Let's have a drink. Have some food. We'll talk about it. Meet my friends.
Well, I'd love to chat, but first, I'm looking for someone named Unwin.
Erwin?
Erwin.
That's about it.
I was told by this stupid bird told me to come in here like Erwin.
Oh, so birds do talk. There you go. There it is.
Raven?
All right. First of all, I
was,
love the Gontelgrim.
Was it the raven?
And this stupid raven told me to come seek Erwin at the Blue Water Inn, if that's even where I am right now.
Lad, was it a black dwarf like a raven? A black dwarf. Was it a black bird? A raven? What kind of bird?
Purse his lips like this at the bar. Go, fucking black.
I thought I ate a bad mushroom or something. Sitting by my fire, and this raven. To tell you the truth, these wolves were harassing me along the road, and these ravens came and pecked some of their eyes out. And one of them
Ew.
sat down by my fire and turned into a person, and his name was Nathaniel Swift. Told me to come
What
see
the
Irwin.
f-
So you know
all
anything
right.
about Irwin?
Isn't that a familiar name?
It is.
That is.
Am I
Yeah.
in earshot, Dan?
So Sal, I made you a token. It's like right here. This guy. I know we'll make a more proper one, but that's you for now. You just got, yeah, he walked up to the bar. He's seeing the other dwarf, so he kind of like worked his way over to Thornton, is standing next to you, Thornton.
Right.
So yeah, Spargo, you're right there. You're kind of like everybody in the bar really is kind of watching this dwarf come in. And yeah,
And we
Just say,
headbutt
yeah,
each other.
I'll just say
that's how
we
we
met
greet.
him. Thoradin. That's the one we met.
What? Who met who? Who? That's
Nathaniel Swift.
right. So I want to introduce Ragnar. That's the dwarf's name, right? That's the dwarf's name, Ragnar. To Irwin. So I gesture Ragnar. I put my arm around him, and I say, "Lad, come speak to Irwin. I've made good friends with him in the short time I've known him." So I bring him over to the bar, and I try to point out Irwin. I don't know if he's behind the bar or if he's walking around.
yeah, he's still standing there right next to you, and he kind of he looks at you both, and now he's kind of looking a little more like he's just talking to you two rather than being so outspoken. And he says to Ragnar, he says, who did you say recommended you visit our establishment?
Can I take a drink first?
Oh, of course.
A dwarf
that,
must drink.
he doesn't even look at anything at the bar or whatever. He just reaches up for that top shelf grape smash, and in one motion pops the cork off like he's done this a bunch of times, like an expert level bottle opening. He just pops it right open, and he pours you a big glass. Thornton, he takes your grape mash number 3, and he pops it to the side and pulls another glass out and pours you a glass of the good stuff. And
Good,
now
I
he's
could
like,
always drink.
he's kind of leaning over. What's that? Where are you at? Like you're kind of hanging back, but
Paid for it all. So I'm
oh,
like
yeah.
holding my glass out.
And Deckard's watching all this, and he's like, "What? What about me?" And at that, Irwin just passes the whole bottle over to Thornton. He says, "Yeah, share that with the rest of your friends." And then he seems to ignore everything besides the two dwarfs at his bar, and he leans over to listen.
So I want to say to Irwin, am I the first dwarf you've ever seen?
He says, "No." He says, "We get travelers here in Barovia." He says, "To be honest, they don't last long. They come, they go. I do what I can to help them."
You're a good lad. Irwin, this is Ragnar. He's been looking for you. So I don't know what they want to talk about, but
I take my drink and I wipe my face on my sleeve. So I gotta tell you, I'm an archaeologist out of Gauntlgrim, and I've been looking for this ancient sanctuary named Argensvolt. This old crone in a wagon told me to come this way. I stumbled through this shitty forest and got attacked by wolves for days, and I came to this godforsaken town, and Nathaniel Swift told me to look for Irwin. I really don't know what's going on. You all seem okay, but I really need to figure out where Argensvolt is. See, I'm an archaeologist, and I hear there's some interesting ruins there that I need to be checking out, and might be able to bust in some skulls on the way.
I like busting skulls, lad, and finding treasure. You speak the language of a dwarf.
So
Dragon sickness, you know it.
when you said the word, when you said that Nathaniel sent you, he gets more. Sorry, I gotta see where one thing on the map is here. Okay. He gets even more sort of coy about the conversation, and he says, it's a bit busy out here. Could we, would you mind stepping back into the kitchen?
I tried before, and your wife wouldn't let me, lad. So I don't want to impose.
How do we know we can trust you, Erwin?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He says, "Well, it's two of you, and you're well more equipped than I am." He goes, "Surely you could. There's nothing I would do to harm you."
Just fed us pretty well. I think we could trust him.
Fair enough.
So he motions you back behind the counter where you were trying to go before, Thornton, and he steps into this back room. And I'll move you in there, Ragnar. And he shuts the door. The rest of you see Danica come out, and two boys about like 10 and 11. See, I lost one of them. Okay. And now the Danica, the woman who you saw who came in, she starts to resume sort of control of running the place, and the boys are running around grabbing empty glasses and stuff like that. You two back in the kitchen with Erwin. So he pulls you aside and says, he looks at Ragnar and he says, we've. It's funny you mentioned Nathaniel. He happens to be a close companion of ours, part of our sort of, let's just call it the inner circle of the group that I represent. And we've been expecting him for a few days, and he hasn't showed up. I have no reason to think that you have anything to do with him not showing up, but if he sent you this way, clearly he thought that you could help and you could be trusted.
Well, Erwin, he said he was heading towards a windmill.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So okay. All right. So yeah, he got shot. That's what happened to that. He got shot.
Are you saying any of that?
No. I'm saying it to my friends in Discord. I'm not saying that.
Oh, so he did. You know he did.
Yeah, my friend killed him. That's awesome. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Fucking focus.
So he hasn't shown up because he's gonna be at the windmill.
Even though I'm not here, I'm still haunting you all.
Oh, baby, it's
always
gonna
and
keep going.
forever.
Just wait.
All right. So, Erwin, I hate to interrupt you, but I must do something. I put my arm on the table. Ragnar, we must have an arm wrestling match. It's a dwarven tradition.
It's a great idea, laddie.
All right, so I
grab it.
I take the alcohol that I have, this fucking shit swill fucking wine that's garbage, and I just pour it on my face like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it like most of it doesn't even get in my mouth, but it's fine. So then we just challenge him in an arm wrestling match.
All right.
Is Salamat, are they the same age as dwarves? I know that they're different. They're about the same size, but like, is one substantially older, or are they seem like they're peers and all?
Oh, how old are you, Thornton? In dwarf years?
I'm a bit younger than, I don't know the exact number. I'd have to go look at my notes, but I'm a bit younger than middle-aged, I believe. I'm not exactly old. I'm like younger than middle-aged, like kind of like me in real life, I guess you would say.
And Ragnar, you said you're about 150 dwarven years, which I don't know how that compares to you, Thornton. I'll look and see what you have on your character sheet. Maybe there's description. Oh, you have an age of 53, so you're rather young. You're like a young adult in dwarf. And,
Yep.
So yeah, so Thornton is a little younger. You know, he'd be more in human years. He's like mid early 20s. Ragnar's probably more like mid 30s.
Good deal.
40.
I just wanted to paint the picture for when I'm naked and alone later. I mean,
What the
go
fuck?
ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
But both of them, even in dwarven terms, are pretty ripped. I would say maybe Ragnar has the edge.
Well, they're
And-
carved from stone, lad, as so the tales go.
There you go.
What happens? All right, fucking do this. This is good.
All right, so all you got to do, both of you make a strength check, just a strength check, not your
I don't know how
savings
to do
throw.
that.
Yeah,
So
so,
you just
Sal,
do
this
a-
is your...
just-
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Tell him. Actually, I'm gonna now go ahead. I'm gonna take a piss after this.
So Sal, on the left side of your Roll20 screen, you should see like 6 icons. So you should see the second to last one is like a, what do you call it? Roll the
20-sided.
D20, a 20-sided die. You
Yeah.
should see that, and then when you mouse over it, you'll see a. You'll go to Advanced Dice Roller. You click on Advanced Dice Roller, and then you'll see all these different options on your screen that pop up.
Okay.
Didn't mean to do that.
So your strength on your character sheet should have. We're gonna do a. What is it? A strength. Okay, so whatever your strength modifier is, like mine is a +3. You'll apply to your roll. So like you go to advanced roll, and then you click D20, and then you to the right of it there's your modifier. So if it's like +2, you put in +2, +3, whatever. And once you select that, you just hit roll, and that'll be your roll.
All right. I don't have to select strength or anything.
No, you just put
just rolling
D20
it?
and then whatever your
Okay.
modifier is.
All right.
So mine's
Doing it now.
all right.
Well, and actually, your modifier was 4, but that was a shit roll, so it doesn't matter.
So he rolled a 7 and I rolled a 13. 14. I can't read, just learning.
Oh wait, I didn't see your roll. Okay, yeah. So Sal, just as you know, on your character sheet where you look at your strength, right above it, the big number, the +4, that's your modifier. So you could have added the +4, but that still would have been 7 to 14. So yeah, you guys are, you lock down. Erwin kind of takes a step back, not sure what the hell's going on. It's almost it's like they're two like lionesses just started. They saw each other and just started fighting over the whatever. But he takes a step back and you guys go for a second. Thornton, your eyes go wide at how strong and how big this arm is. You're used to being the biggest dwarf in the room, and you're actually amazed that this other dwarf that you just met is bigger. But you just get the technique, or you get the jump on him, and it's sort of that like quick little like you caught him off guard and just boom, drove his arm right down.
It's because I turned my head
And,
around. That's why.
Yeah.
It's like a switch.
But you get him. Thornton
You
wins
get him.
the arm wrestle.
Buddy,
I beat him and then we headbutt and we just keep
we'll try
drinking.
it
All right,
again
so that's that.
when I got some food in me.
You're tired, lad. I know. It's okay. The big guy got me last time.
So yeah, Erwin like kind of is like, we good here? Is this we're good now, or are you guys all right?
Yeah, so I pat him on the shoulder and I go, Erwin, you're a good man. Let's continue.
He says, great. Well, so yes, our let's just call him our agent, Nathaniel, has not returned. So we're concerned and would like to find him. But we I think if we're able to establish some level of trust here between us and your group, there's definitely some things that we can work together on. I have a feeling we're on the same side of a conflict. I'm not willing to share too much. We're rather sort of secretive a group here. You will find whatever comforts and safety that you want within this tavern. We are truly, genuinely concerned about our supply, our wine supply, and I believe that there's more to it than just perhaps some bandits or Vistani or wolves disrupting the flow.
So Thornton is he's like buzzed, right? I've been drinking now for a few hours, a lot of alcohol, right? Like it's not just a couple of cups of fucking wine, a couple of cups of fucking Mike's Hard. This is like serious shit. So I bang the table and I say, Arwen, this dwarf has been around for a long time, and I know you're running a resistance. And we want to be a part of it because we don't want this shit to go on anymore.
He says, if that were true, you would also know that the number one rule of a resistance is secrecy and trust, right?
Sure, the number one rule to Fight Club is you don't mention Fight Club. We all know that, okay, lad? I'm just saying, if it was that, I know what's going on.
And says, this Fight Club sounds interesting, but... yes, so let's not move too quickly here. I feel like you and your companions are trustworthy, but I will tell you, you're not the first group we've seen come through, and you're not the last. So I have to protect mine and my own before I show too much of my hand. But I do want you to know that you are safe here. And I hope
Harwin, let's have a drink.
He says, I don't partake myself, but we can return to the party, and let's see how you and your yeah.
Arwen,
Yes, sir.
before we do that, all this talk of the wine and the supply chains, but I wanted to ask you, have you ever heard of Argensvold?
The old ruins of the Order of the Silver Dragon, Argynvosthold.
Yes, I have trouble with the pronunciations.
He says, oh yes, we know of it. I unfortunately I haven't been there myself. It's said to be a rather dangerous place. But it does certainly exist. Holy shit, I fucked something up completely. Hold on one second.
You're the DM, you can do that.
Yes, he says, I think I just told you the wrong thing about the winery. I can fix that in a second. He says, yeah, it isn't too far. It isn't too far southwest of here. Maybe a few days travel, a bit past the Luna River.
What'd you say? Order of the Silver Dragon? That sounds fucking familiar. That's not the first time we've heard that. Somebody has said that to us.
Wait a minute, wasn't that what the guard was part of when we first got to this fucking shithole?
Yes. When we started this, that was definitely something in the very beginning.
Right?
The Revenant.
Revenant?
The Revenant?
There may be the Renvenian. Yeah, maybe he said that. I don't know.
Renvenian.
Someone said.
I swear
Someone
it had
said some. Wasn't he a member of the Order of the Silver Dragon? Didn't he say
Wait a
that?
minute.
Sounds really familiar.
God, I gotta take better notes.
Arwen, I have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
My brain's a little addled from the road, but Nathaniel mentioned something about the Keepers of the Feather. Does that mean anything to you?
When you say that phrase, he glances around, even though you're in an empty room with closed doors, and he says, He said Nathaniel must have trusted you inherently for some reason. This bodes well for all of us. He must have seen something in you, something truly good or special. I don't really want to say more about that until we've established a little more rapport. But just you mentioning that definitely lets me know that I think we're gonna work out well together.
Deckard is not in this conversation, right? I'm
No.
not backing out.
No, in character, this is just Thorin and Ragnar at this point.
Deckard took really good notes.
So did
Oh, that's
Margo.
why. Oh, you guys, I'd be cheating off of you if this was high school. Oh my god.
But Erwin
I slide a piece of paper under the desk.
I hand Thornton a graphing calculator with a bunch of answers programmed into
Oh
it.
my god!
And I was
we used to
hoping that
use the
Doom
shit
was
out of
on it
that.
instead, but it's not.
TI-84.
He just starts playing Drug Wars.
Drug Wars. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But Erwin looks at both of you and he says, "If I can get more information or help you find Argen Vasthold, if that's of some interest to you, I feel like that would benefit me in some way. I feel like our paths are aligned. I really, I know it sounds trivial, but the whatever's happening with the Wizard of Wines at this point is also of grave concern to the safety of Vallaki. I know it's hard to understand, but certainly if you helped there or otherwise proved your intentions while you're here in our lands, I could get myself and my family to support you as much as possible."
Well, it seems like you have a problem with the undead.
The undead. The walls here keep us safe from the undead, but it's part of the reason why we don't leave town.
The ravens were helping me on the road.
Oh yeah, good. If we got a friend who shoots him. Well, he's dead now. So.
He says, I hope that you do find the ravens of these lands to be benevolent creatures. And I hope you will treat them with the respect that they would be deserving.
So I give everyone a hug, right? A big, nice dwarf hug. Bring it in, lad. Bring it in.
And he returns the hug. Like,
yeah, there you go.
In genuine. He does.
I got him. That's it. We've reached a new level in our friendship.
I grab him by the shoulder and thank him for the information.
He goes, "Appreciate that. I'm glad you're also respecting my personal space, unlike your other."
It's the pandemic. We're all just we want to just hug. I want to hug everyone.
Social distancing in Barovia.
Yeah.
At that, Erwin says, we can talk more. I do need to get back out to my customers. But
I do too. I need to drink, Erwin. You're not the only one. I need to wet my whistle.
All right. So he heads back out. The kids and the wife are kind of buzzing around. This place is just booming now. It's getting close to like 11 o'clock at night. Ragnar, are you kind of moving out too, back to your group?
I'm gonna follow Thornton and see if we can share some stories from the road.
Yeah, so I bring him to the group, and can I just say that I paraphrase? I don't really want to talk about it out here. It's probably not good with so many wandering ears, but I just basically say to the group, guys, Ragnar, he's with us. We have some things we need to talk about, but tonight, let's drink and eat.
All right, good. I'm going to take a quick break. I need to piss and grab a drink. That's good timing there. The group has sort of like resumed here. If you guys want to I can listen. So if you guys want to have some dialogue, feel free. I'll be right back.
OOC.
I'm cool with taking a 30-second. I'll be back.
Yeah, go ahead. Go get some water. I definitely think the Renvenian definitely mentioned the Order of the Silver Dragon. He definitely did.
Do you want me to cheat and tell you everything?
Well, I mean, tell me what's in your notes. I mean, we can trade notes. We don't have, that's...
Right. Here's what's in my notes. I'll read it to you verbatim.
Yeah.
We run into an undead knight on the trail that claims to be with the Silver Order.
Right.
Another minion of Strahd. Thoradin talks to the Revenant and asks if Vladimir sent him after Thoradin mentioned that he's a paladin.
Right.
The Order of the Silver Dragon. I have that in quotes. The Revenant said, if we are enemies of Strahd, we are friends of the Order of the Silver Dragon. Seek Vladimir in Argen's Vault.
Amazing.
Peter Holsevik is another name I got. Order of the Silver Dragon. But that Argan's vault. We need to seek
That
Vladimir.
seems to be a very important place. So it's important to Ragnar and it's important to us because that's where we'll get more information from the Order of the Silver Dragon.
So the name
So-
Vladimir is important.
And Peter to a lesser extent, I guess. But mostly Vladimir. Okay.
I'm so proud of my notes. I'm so happy. Like, Dan, you've got to be like, thank
I was
God.
gonna say those are better notes than we've ever taken in any session ever. It was like session 1 of this campaign. It's sort of like your first day of class in college. You take
Right.
great notes, and then it's just, and by like the third class, it's just fucking dick pics and
No,
boobs.
but a year later, so that was so. You know, I take. I don't. You probably can't. Yeah. So
We're on session 30. Can you believe we've done this 30 fucking times? That's
so.
Yeah, that's
Can you
cool,
see my
right?
screen?
yep.
So that's how I.
Blow it up.
This is how I take my notes. Like
Damn.
I just put date, and then it starts like the most recents at the top. So
That's great. Will, that's great.
they're not good. It's only 2 pages, but ironically, so this right here was the cards. And I like wrote verbatim everything you were telling us. So I can't say I'm always going to have the notes, but
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff, though.
this is from our private session where this is.
Oh yeah.
I got to stop sharing.
Well, that was September of. That was September.
Yeah,
Huh.
September
That's very
19th
cool.
when we did that private session. So how about that, Matt? I was a werewolf last September. And when did they find out? Like 2-3 months ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Found out for sure, but there was a long time. There was a lot of just crazy shit happening too. You know what I mean? Like there was like when you guys were in that like church, and they locked you in that room because
Yeah.
you were acting all weird and shit. Oh, that was when you were having. That's when you're having the kids, and you had to take
That's when I
a
was
break,
on
right?
hiatus.
And we tied him up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Spargle tied him up because he's like, "We're going to this church full of fucking vampires. The last thing
Yeah,
I
I
need is this
mean,
guy like losing
He
his
was all
shit."
fucked up. I mean, it makes sense now in hindsight, right? I mean, it always does, but
You guys all knew something was up. Crocus actually called it at one point.
I remember.
like, so I thought it was just like being written in because of your absence because of the kids. I didn't know that there was actually meat there on the bone. I thought it was just like, yeah,
What
he's
did
not.
I say, Will?
You said you made a passing comment. It was the session where I used one of my abilities where I can like raise the dead. And you were like, he's like a werewolf or something. You
Yep.
just made a comment.
And I had to do the perfect poker face or just like look away because I was like, how the fuck did he call that out at this point?
Did you?
It's not even
Did it involve wolves though, or was it just like something that you have a magical ability that you normally didn't have?
Say that again.
Was this? Did it involve wolves or like what? Why would I say werewolf specifically?
I don't know. We don't know.
Because I remember what you
that's
were
the
saying.
genius of Dan Crocus. That's what it is.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just
Well, I've got 4
Both
brain
Dan
cells
and I
left.
talked
So.
about it afterwards.
they were all firing that day, brother.
I was like, did you hear that motherfucker? What he said? Dan and I were like, yeah, like
Like, how the hell did he call that?
He got it 6-9 months earlier. He got it.
Maybe you were like sniffing at something. I mean, you were very. There was weird shit going on for a long time. There was lead up to it. I was like, "There's something going on." Plus, when Will would do it, you were excited about it. I could tell. I was like, "Oh, there's a secret. There's a secret."
the problem was, here's what's funny.
I'm
The
gonna go.
problem
Sorry.
was I was waiting for the right moment to like become a werewolf. Here's what's funny. All right. I was waiting for that moment where like maybe kind of we thought we were gonna die. And like it would be really cool if I like
Oh, it
enraged.
was your choice the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. The whole time.
Oh, I held it in
The
for
whole
like
time?
months, dude. You don't understand.
Oh my god! I thought that was.
Yeah, I mean,
that's when I thought.
if
that
I
was
had to
part
guess,
of,
I
like,
mean, how long was he going with seeing like the visions and stuff? Remember?
So
Yeah.
you
When
might
we
have
first went into Barovia, he saw
So-
stuff
Right.
that we didn't see.
He was
September
definitely infected.
17th is when I became a werewolf.
What
Holy
was it?
shit.
September 17th last year.
Dude, that's a baby. A baby would be born.
You carried that werewolf 9 months, buddy. Good job.
And gave birth. Just
Tell
on the
Hillary,
session.
carrying twins is nothing. I was a fucking, I had a werewolf in this bitch.
My best friends didn't notice.
Right.
What's funny is I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna pull it out when like it's gonna like save the day. And so when we started fighting those old women, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna bust in. I'm gonna go through upstairs. I'm gonna come down as a werewolf. It's gonna be epic. But it was completely overshadowed by the fact that it didn't fucking matter and we were all gonna die.
But the irony is how it fit Crocus's story, Blackwind's story, which was he was like, yeah, we rushed in here because we saw a creature coming into your building and we were trying to save you, and they were like, yeah, bullshit, and then you became after that the creature that came into the building.
That's what I was trying to do.
So I saw Will. Is that why we? Oh
no. So remember we lied to them, like, hey, we saw something. And like
we've lied to
But
everyone.
did we actually see you though?
No, we had
go
to.
in?
But I was gonna try and play it, and I didn't really have a way of communicating it to you. But like ultimately, I was hoping you'd go, see, there it is.
And then Sproggle was like, "Fuck these kids."
Oh.
Anyway,
All right.
Oh,
okay,
remember when you killed Nathaniel Swift? Sorry.
Oh. So, you guys head back out. Let's see. So Ragnar and Thoradin, are you trying to communicate with the rest of the group? Tell them what's going on. Have you filled them in? Or are you just trying to keep it low key?
So there's a lot of people in here, and I think we're even beyond fire code. So like it's raising a lot of red flags because I was a fireman in my dwarven, town, which you guys don't know. Never really talked about it. But yeah, there's a lot of people here. I don't feel comfortable like talking about it, but me and Ragnar shoot the shit. We're talking about, just like dwarven stuff back on like Earth or whatever. What do we call the main planet? Like our main dimension. What is it called?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sword Coast.
Sword Coast. Yeah, we talk
Faerun.
about, Sword Coast stories, Faerun, right? Nothing heavy, just keeping it light. I mean, it is the first time we met, so I'm not like telling him how my whole village got burned down. I'm not telling like any of that stuff, but it's just mostly, like light stuff, trading stories, battle stories. But I do want to ask him, so Ragnar, what kind of combat do you fancy yourself a master of? I like to have a sword and a battle axe and a shield and protect my friends. What about you?
Well, Thoradin, to tell you the truth, I was born in Mithril Hall, and I trained with the Battle Ragers there.
Oh,
I was
the
trained
Battle
by Brunner
Rangers.
Battlehammer, and I picked up some of the techniques of all the different dwarven soldiery there.
Holy fucking
Nah.
shit!
Pretty much, just some goblin crushing, orc crushing, battle raging abilities.
Oh,
Is he like Thibbledorf Pent, where he's wearing the armor?
No, I didn't want to be like Point because he stinks like shit.
yeah. What is he wearing?
He
So
does-
what is Ragnar wearing? What kind of equipment does he have?
Just traveling leather.
Just like a leather jerkin?
And he was trained by Brunner.
The mighty Brunner Battlehammer. There are tales around the dwarven kingdoms of the might and strength.
I read 23 books with that motherfucker.
I was gonna say I knew
Yeah.
Crocus was gonna love all
And
this
now
shit.
you're dead.
Oh
Good
my
job, man.
God.
Good job.
Yeah,
You-
I'm coming back.
You played yourself.
Why'd you
Yes,
come
sir.
back, Crocus?
Yeah.
Played yourself.
Congratulations.
Why'd you have to kill Nathaniel Swift?
Bro, he kills ravens. He kills fucking...
I didn't kill Nathaniel Swift.
Yeah, you did. We all know
Yeah,
you
you
did.
Wait, how? Wait.
If Fonch
killed a
says it,
raven
it's
by a
definitely
No.
true.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who was this person?
So, remember that raven that you just felt like you were fucking clay shooting in front of the fucking windmill, the lighthouse, whatever the fuck it was, and there was
Yeah.
a raven just hanging out, and you just took a crossbow
And
out
that was
because you just
Nathaniel
felt...
Swift.
Oh, absolutely, baby, it was.
So why
Yeah,
did he
I
show
know.
up as a
He said he
raven?
was
I got an
flying to the
idea.
window.
Be a normal guy. Show up and be like,
Says
hey,
the fucking warlock, okay.
Maybe he's
Says be a
hiding
normal
from the
guy.
fucking nightmare ladies.
Yeah,
I
bro,
really
he's a
killed,
spy.
I killed Nathaniel Swift for real. That was.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yo, bro,
One second,
I
you
bet
killed-
my
one
life on it.
second,
Ah,
You killed a very
that's why
important
Dan killed
NPC.
me. Fucking American
Which is
History
ironic
X.
because you've like fiercely defended every single animal that we've squared up against this whole.
Yeah, like the
time.
ones with rabies
Because
that were
I
clawing.
was sick, because I've got a claw, I've got a skeleton hand. I was like, fuck. Oh, a bird showing up. Fuck off. Get the
All
fuck outta
fucking
here.
3 feet of Spargle's little fucking body. Picture a little gnome is getting fucking mangled by wolves with fucking foam coming from their mouths, and you're like, but wait, no, maybe we want to talk to them because maybe they have something to say.
And the wolf's like, fuck off. I suck Strahd's dick.
No, the wolves didn't even talk to you because they couldn't, because they got fucking rabies. They're sick in the head.
They would just be like, "Arr." Dan did a good. Dan, do your wolf impression real quick for us.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah, they didn't like you.
I'm sorry, I get carried away, but
Oh, well,
So-
sorry. Hey, R.I.P. Nathaniel Swift. He's with Aaliyah now, so it's
yeah, and he's with you. So you guys can talk about it. So Ragnar, I'm just lining him up, and I'm seeing what he's wearing.
With you.
We ended up together. So I say, what's your weapon of choice, Ragnar? Do you like dwarven steel, like a battle axe, or do you like a hammer, like a big stone? And I'm smashing the table, but like I can't smash my table because it'll,
Tell you
No
the
lead
truth,
wood.
Thorazin. Right now, I'm fighting with a sword and shield. Being an archaeologist, I here.
You're breaking up. Being an archaeologist, what?
Being an archaeologist, I come across random treasures, and I came across in my travels in Gauntlegrim this fine sword, Shadowspike.
Ooh,
So that's what I'm using
Shadowspike.
these days.
So I pull out my talon. That sounded weird. I'm sorry.
I pull
I'm
out
sorry,
my
guys.
talent and show it to my
I
friends.
pull out my
First
talon.
is arm wrestling. Now we're comparing the sizes of our swords. It's like the
Bro,
fuck
have you ever been in a dwarven tavern? I mean, this is what we do.
This is it, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, we've headbutted twice.
Fine.
So I pull out Talon and I say, "Oh, this is Talon," and I lay it on the table and I say, "Show me what was the name of yours?
Shadowspike.
Rick? Show me Shadowspike. I want to see it."
Oh, gladly, laddie. From the finest forges in Gauntlegrim. Lay it across the table.
I've heard legends and stories of the forges of Gauntlegrim.
Or by a primordial.
So I pick it up. Is it a sword? It's a sword, you said, right?
Yeah, the one-handed sword.
So I'm a sword. I'm a sword. It's a sword. I start like running my fingers over it, and then I tap the tip, and I start bleeding a little bit. I love it.
Fine
And drink
dwarven
more wine.
steel.
Fine dwarven steel is right, and I hand you the sword back. But that's it. That's the extent of the conversation. I don't want to talk about what happened in the kitchen. Maybe when we're upstairs, we could all meet in one room and kind of whisper about it, like maybe
a
tomorrow
good
morning.
idea.
But maybe not now. We just want to.
Yeah.
The levity is good. Let's all unwind.
These two, there's two mid 20-ish year old guys that have been sitting together in the middle of the tavern, and they are watching you guys like crazy. They almost, but not in a creepy way, not in a threatening way. Even they're almost just like excited. You see, and you notice that Spargle, you kind of notice. You've got a good sort of passive perception. Actually, I got to look at Ragnar too, make sure Oh, Ragnar's got really high. Okay, so and Ragnar, you notice this too. Those two guys are a little well-to-do. There's like two guys sitting at a table, and they've got they've got like better clothes on. You notice they've only been drinking the Red Dragon Crush, and they're just watching all of you. And now as you two are like pulling out these like really interesting looking swords and laying them out, they're almost like kind of peeking over and trying to check it out a little bit. Otherwise, the rest of the tavern is just kind of hopping, man. And everybody's just in a good mood, passing out drinks and food and everything.
Good vibes.
What else would you guys like to do here?
That's it for me. I'm done. I'm just drinking and eating. If you guys want to talk to people, talk to people. But I'm enjoying Ragnar's company, and we're just shooting the shit.
Got it.
Did
And,
they
like,
do they
you
look
pull
like
us
the
out-
adventuring type? Sorry, go ahead, Deckard.
Sorry.
What, Will?
No, you go ahead, Sparkle.
No, Dan, you were just saying these guys. They look well-to-do, but do they look like well-to-do? Like they look like the adventuring type? Do they look like merchants? Do they look like, you know what I mean?
More like I would consider like what was the last thing you said?
Fancy lads.
More like, honestly, more like fancy lads. More like nobles. Like they have they look like the guys that go out to the club and just go overboard and spend a lot of time like slicking their hair back and shaving their arms and getting
They're the
I
guys
will
that get
say. What, Will? I'm sorry, cut you off. What'd you
They're
say?
the kind of guys that get bottle service.
Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
precisely.
If I wasn't so enthralled with Ragnar and just being another dwarf, seeing another dwarf, I would definitely walk up to these people and ruffle their feathers just to kind of see where they're coming from, just to shake up the things a little bit. But I am so locked into the fact that there's another dwarf and he's talking about all these dwarven heroes and all these dwarven locations, and I'm just like chubbed up, fully chubbed. So I'm not paying attention to these people, but I normally would. Just saying.
So I look at Thoradin, and I'm looking at those two guys out of the corner of my eye. Tell Thoradin, what do you think of these two fancy lads over here?
Well, just two idiot locals having a few drinks around these parts. Nothing really, but I want you to tell me more about Bruno Battlehammer. That's his name. Sorry, I didn't want to mess it up.
That's perfect. Yep.
Yeah. I want you to tell me more about Bruno Battlehammer, a young dwarf such as myself. Hasn't really heard many stories about him. I haven't seen him much. Maybe you could tell me some more stories.
Oh, King Dre died and come.
You're breaking up a little bit, Sal. Just
Link
make sure
established.
He's died and come back to life so many times. It's hard for even dwarves to keep track.
Oh, I've heard. So yeah, I kind of just brush off like those two people. Like I'm enthralled right now. Like I said, I am totally just. You're not gonna get.
Can I look at anybody else in the party and kind of like give them a little head nod?
I
take a look.
I noticed them too, and I guess I'm across the table from you guys, and I'm like, I just kind of lean over towards Ragnar and Thoradin. I guess you're like right next to him too, and just like be like, yeah, I think they've taken to us too a little bit.
Oh, well, let's give them a couple drinks and see what they say. Let's see who they are.
All right.
You can do that.
What do you
Arwen,
want to do?
where's Arwen?
And he's standing by. He's just kind of been watching everybody. Really, Danica and the two boys have been taking care of everybody. He's actually been kind of standing back behind the bar, kind of deep in thought and watching you all. Just kind of really, not in an intent way, but just sort of more of
Like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like, this
sort of like
Wow.
trying to take it all in is
Right,
kind of what
right,
he's doing,
right.
but in a positive way, is from what you could tell.
Arwen, let's get these two fancy lads over here at the other table a couple drinks. What do you say, boys? And I look over to them, and I definitely make sure they hear me.
They look up and they get bright-eyed and they're excited that you've acknowledged them. And but Erwin does the almost sort of don't make eye contact kind of thing with you and them, and then and as they perk up, he just kind of gives that look where he's like, yeah, the Wachter boys, yeah, we'll get them their drinks. They're
regulars. Yeah, see, they're a bunch of
What?
regulars at the bar.
Can you say that name again? The what boys?
the Wachter boys.
Wachter.
Yep.
Oh, we had a
Wachter.
customer at
The
Vitamin
Wachter
Shop named
boys.
Wachter.
Really? Did you have a customer with that name?
Yeah, you knew
That's
him.
good.
It was that guy with the shaved head.
It's probably repressed memory at this point.
Probably.
We blocked it out.
Yeah.
So Irwin says, yeah, the Wachter boys, they've got a tab. The tab's paid by their family.
All right, don't worry about it. Sorry,
he leans over to Deckard, who's closest to him. He goes, you don't need to buy them any drinks. They can afford it. If anything, they'll just annoy the shit out of everybody.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
they're what? They're nobles here in the town?
You haven't been here long. Yes, their mother is Lady Wachter of the Wachter House. They're here every night, though. I mean, they're children of Lady Wachter.
Bunch of losers.
I'll write it in here.
These guys look?
Early 20s.
Bunch of losers.
Okay.
And then he says, I don't know if I spelled that right, but I didn't. That's how you spell it. And he says, Wachter House is the family.
All right, here's a really dumb question. How do you actually see when you're putting a chat? Or are you doing it in Roll20?
It's in Roll 20.
Yeah, and Roll20, like right below where the rolls are. That's what I was.
Yes.
I got it. Cool.
And those two boys kind of walk over. You can tell they're pretty buzzed up. And they kind of, one of them leans in over to you, Thornton, and is like, he goes, hey, you guys gonna fuck with the Baron? He goes, you could stand up to him.
Who are you, lad?
Oh, we're just he goes, I'm Nikolai. It's my brother Carl.
Nikolai Carr, great to meet you. Name started I'm a dwarf. Have you ever met a dwarf?
They look at each other and one of them like nods and says, yeah. I think there was one that looked like you not too long ago.
Oh, did you catch his name?
No, they come and go. I honestly, I mean, you guys are great stories and entertainment, but in a week we'll never see you guys again.
Well, first of all, that's very rude. Number one. That's number one. Number two, who is this Baron you're speaking of? That's number two. And then number three, why wouldn't I see you after a week? 3 things. That's it, lad. That's all I got to say.
He says, 3. He goes, he's drunk, right? He's like, 3. Well, you're gonna die. 2. What was 2?
The Baron.
Who is? Thank you. I have such a bad memory. Who is this Baron you're speaking of? You drunk mess.
A bunch of people around that are kind of half listening also laugh, and he goes, "The Baron Valakovich. You're in his town. The guy that runs the festivals and is our leader and everything. He's drunk now and he's talking out of turn.
Oh god.
Some people are kind of
bro. Oh my god.
well, yes, total frat bro kind of attitude. And others, now that he's starting to badmouth the Baron, are starting to turn back to their own table. Some of the just commoners that are sitting around are not participating in this conversation, but the 2 brothers are still going like, yeah.
Who wants me to challenge this fucking guy to an arm wrestling match? Who wants me to do it?
Hell yeah, brother.
Blackwind does.
How about I make Alaric to it? How about that? Because
wow.
you motherfucker, you've been quiet.
You're gonna make a lark do it? I mean, I don't think it
No,
works
bro.
that way, brother.
No, you're a little. You've been drinking and like you don't like the way this guy's talking to me because I know how Alaric is. And I say, well, I got my muscle here. He'd like to challenge you to an arm wrestling match. You would not back down ever.
You're
All
right.
right,
No,
all
you're
right. I gotta do a timeout and an out of character because this is just too perfect. What Matt just said, and Adam, when I wrote down my notes and to kind of for these characters, and this is totally fourth wall, but it's just too perfect. I wrote down, I always try to associate certain characters with people I actually know. That's like a way to kind of like role play them, right? These guys are Tim and Alex in like 1999.
Oh my god.
The bar hopping, when Will said bottle service, I'm like, yes. These are the guys that are shaving their arms, going out, picking up chicks. They got all this. They think they have all this money. Anyhow, I hate to break the fourth wall, but that statement you just made, Thornton, was so spot on.
That is too perfect.
But that's who you're gonna arm wrestle if you want to at this point.
So I say to this young man, what's his name again?
Nikolai's who's talking to you, and he keeps nodding to his brother Carl.
Nikolai and Carl, I got something. I got a little deal for you. Dwarves like to make deals. I got the deal for you. I don't like the cut of your jib. And how about this? If my friend over here, and I tap on Alaric, like his big fucking meaty orc shoulder, I tap on it. If my friend here can beat you in an arm wrestling match, you two have to leave this place, this little bar tavern. What do you say? And if not, you choose not to leave, well, I think he could do something else too. What do you say?
He looks kind of intrigued and then confused, and he's like, wait, what's in it for us if we win?
If you win, my friend Alaric here, he won't pound you into oblivion. What do you say?
And if I lose?
If you lose, then you get to leave peacefully.
Okay.
He got drunk, of course. Yeah,
he's like, or he goes, I'll make you another deal. I will buy you, and he points up at the bar, and there's one more dusty bottle of the Dragon's
Red Dragon, whatever.
Red Dragon Crush sitting up there, the last bottle that you can see. He goes, I will buy you that last bottle if you just let us stay here and listen to your tales.
On one condition, young lad. You shut your mouth and you keep to yourself.
He makes like a scowl and he says,
and
he
then
says,
go ahead.
You know who my mother is, right?
I don't. I'm very new around here, but I'd love to get to know her. What's her name, lad?
Lady Fiona Wachter, who most people, and now he sounds all cocky and kind of
most people
think should be leading this town if it weren't for that foolish Baron. And now he's getting real loud and boisterous, and people are leaving. Like other patrons are like, okay, I don't want to be around this conversation. He's like,
all right. So I say, tell you what, lad, you want to buy me around? You want to buy me the nice Red Dragon Ale? I'll take it. I'll take you up on your offer. You seem like a fair enough fella, a reasonable fella. I'll take you up on it.
Okay. I don't have to wrestle. I have to arm wrestle that.
Nah, you don't have to arm wrestle the Hulk here. I just like to get his blood going with a little bit of a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
He seems to go much at ease there. It's like, and he says, Erwin, come on. Erwin looks just disgusted at this punk commanding him over to get a bottle, but he does. He brings over the last bottle, and he says, Sir Nikolai, I hate to do this, but I know you're good for it. I'm gonna have to charge you a bit of a premium for my last bottle of Red Dragon Crush. And Nikolai's like, well, whatever. Just my mom's
put it on my credit card.
My mom. You know, my mom will pay for it. So bring it over and keep the wolf steaks coming. And so he pops open the bottle, and you guys continue to have your conversation and hang out. Ismark and Irina at some point are like, "Hey, it's getting late. We're gonna go head up." Ismark stops for a second over at Spargle and Alaric, by Spargle and Alaric, who have been a little more sort of quiet and just. No, this kind of maintaining the norm, and is like, what do you think? What are we gonna do next? What are we gonna do? So it seems like a safe place to crash for tonight, but what are we gonna do? Are we gonna just hide out here for a while? Or are we gonna?
I'm maybe we should debrief up in the rooms where it's quiet.
Have they told us about their conversation in the back yet?
No, not yet. Nope.
No.
Deliberately not, because there are people around.
Mm-hmm.
Spargle, when you say that, he says, "Okay, that sounds like a good idea. We'll head up now because Irina's getting a little, a little tired here, and this isn't a great scene for her. But yeah, maybe we can chat about what we think about this place and what we should be doing. And at that, they head up. They swing by Danica, who has keys, and they head up the steps towards where the rooms are.
Yeah. All right. I do want to find out more when these two fucking morons leave. The two frat bros. I want to find out more about the Wachter family and see what's going on with that. Get more information maybe tomorrow morning.
I was just gonna say we could maybe run by and talk to Erwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Because there's something going on there. You know what I mean? Between the politics and.
Yeah, I mean, that whole exercise was good because you kind of hear some of the politics about the city and the town and the Baron, the dynamic between the Baron and the Wachter house, and all that shit. So knowing that, we can kind of ask more pointed questions to people about what's going on, maybe. But I think we're done for the night. I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, as the group starts to like disperse and head off, the Wachter brothers, they drink. They're drinking heavy, and so they stay there though because they're just looking around. Anytime any of you guys, like, they don't seem to be remotely interested in any of the other patrons that seem to be sort of regulars, but you guys that are new there, they are just like kids at a candy store, like somebody at they're just like super like engaged and focused on anything anybody says or does. They're watching and interested in. But as things sort of dwindle down, they start to get bored. They don't stop drinking though. You could tell they're going to close this place up. Erwin and the family don't seem to be super excited about that. Slowly but surely, as it gets closer to midnight, you get the feeling from like dusk till whenever this place is pretty lively, but pretty sharply at around midnight, people start the regulars or the townsfolk just start dipping out. It starts dwindling down a little bit. The Wachters are still there. The children, the Mardukov children who were helping retire. And it gets to that point where it's sort of like bar closing, right? It's like 2 a.m. You got the owners there. You got the couple people that won't go home. Half of your party has gone up the steps to go to bed. That's kind of where you're at.
But
Right.
you're kind of making it known that like right at midnight-ish, things seem to disperse. Like maybe more than we would be used to. Is that what you're saying?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Alaric thinks shit's gonna go down.
Did you ever see Dust to Dawn?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tarantino movie?
Sorry. Just disregard
Yeah.
that. I was trying to open the advanced roller. You said perception check, right?
I did see Dust Till Dawn, yeah.
Yes.
I'm kidding. That's not what's happening.
I was getting that vibe. I was
good.
questioning.
20. Yeah, you get the sense that it's not like a sharp thing where it's like people are like all of a sudden there were like a bunch of people like there's a cutoff. You just get the sort of sense that people are not comfortable staying out too late, even in this pretty safe town.
Okay.
Some of the more like
I didn't know if
Brad-
like everybody was going to shoot like a Thriller video and they were gonna come kill me when I'm sleeping, or what was going on. It just I was curious.
No, you saw a wave of people leave when the Wachter brothers started acting up. And then when it got close to midnight, honestly, when the moon is at apex, not precisely though. What you observed was it wasn't that acute of a like sudden exodus of people, but generally it's a pretty abrupt. Everybody's starting to leave, and as it gets dark, I don't know.
Okay. No, it makes sense.
So I do want to make a point. So like those Wachter brothers, right? Like I wanted to push that conflict as much as I could without it getting like physical, where like people would come to blows, because I really just wanted to see where their breaking point was, and like I wanted to just tilt them and push them a little bit to see what they would say. So I just wanted to make a note of that. Like that's usually my strategy. That's usually my style, is like pushing stuff to the very limit and then pulling back just to see like how far they'll go. Just saying. That's just a tactic I like to do. You know, because usually they'll spill information, you know, if they feel threatened, and you know, and they didn't give us like anything, revelation wise like that. We're like, oh my god, but like, you know, just kind of got some more information from them. So, you know, sorry if that's
you know who our mother is stuff.
exactly
like,
right. Like, so they're throwing that around. She must have some clout around here, and just gives us something else to investigate. You know, and that she should be the real ruler of this fucking place.
And they
you know,
said we'd
instead
be
of
dead soon.
yeah, and they said we'd be dead soon. Like, homie,
People
You
only
know,
last about a week.
homie, we killed Glassstaff. Get the fuck out of here. You know, like, bro, I went through Phandelver. Like, I know the deal.
We fought 3 old ladies, and most of us lived.
Like, we killed Nathaniel Swift. Like, we know what's up.
I don't know if you want to brag about that one yet.
Yeah.
So eventually the night dwindles down to the point where it's just you guys, the Wachter brothers, Irina and Ismark went up, and there's one random passed out drunk dude in the corner, nondescript. At that, this would be a pretty good place to call it. And then that discussion that you guys were talking about maybe having, we could try in fireside chat.
I think
In terms of what Thornton and Ragnar kind of heard
spoke about
and
in that kitchen. Yeah.
spoke about. You can assume you got 3 rooms, and you have like, so how many people? 8 or 6, 7 people. So you're kind of like splitting up in rooms. The rooms are probably clustered together in a little hall. So if you guys want to
Just
like,
for later on when I'm alone with my pants off, like who's in what room? Just
I would probably offer to have Ragnar in my room, just because like I'm really like enamored with Ragnar, because he's a little bit older of a dwarf, because he is a dwarf, because he mentioned all these fucking names that I've only heard as a child in stories and tales and legends. So like I'm almost like, you know, I'd be honored if I had you in my room, you know. So that's that. I would say me and Ragnar in one. I know these 2 morons are going to fight over who's in the room with. I know that for a fact.
well, so Ismark and Irina took a room, and they're up in one. The 2 dwarves grab another room.
that's weird.
And there's a there's a 3rd room. So Spargle, Deckard, and Alaric, as you head up. So first Spargle, where are you gonna go? Are you gonna
I could just sleep on the floor between, Alaric and Deckard. I'm Forest Gnome. I'm used to.
But as you head up the stairs, are you gonna just take the empty room then? Because you're the first one up. Are you gonna take the 3rd room, or are you gonna go in with the dwarves or with Ismark and Irina? Okay. So Spargle goes into the 3rd room. Deckard, you head up.
Yep. I go with, yeah. Who's in the room with you, Spargle?
He took an empty
He's the
room.
first. Yeah, he's the first one up, so he's got his own.
Yeah. Is there an open room?
Nope. It's either go with the dwarves, Ismark and Irina, or the room Spargle just walked in front of you.
I go spoon with Spargle.
All right.
Not a bad choice.
And then Alaric, you're coming up, and it's like paired off, 2, 2, and 2 in all these rooms. Which one are you gonna just crash into?
I'll go with the dwarves.
Nice. Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's assume though
You
that
ain't sleeping, brother.
besides Ismark and Irina,
I'm making
the
sure you
rest
guys
of
do
you
something.
have sort of so Thornton, Ragnar, Spargle, Deckard, and Alaric have sort of like congregated. You know how you like, say you're out on a work trip with a bunch of friends and you're drinking, you go back to the hotel and you're all standing there before you go to your rooms for the night.
Yeah.
The fireside chat is the 5 of you sort of out in the hallway before you retire for the night.
Perfect.
Right. We could maybe decide to go in one room if we want some walls.
Sure.
We can
Yeah.
have
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
we have a
Right.
plan of a room we're going to, but we may change that.
But that's where we started.
You could
Got it.
all
Okay.
sleep in the same room if you really wanted to.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we're not indulging your pants off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to fulfill his fantasy here? So in terms of fireside chat, and so it's up to you, Thord and Ragnar, whatever you want to share from your conversation with Erwin Mardukov before you guys retire. You can do that in Slack, fireside chat, and then any other preparations that anyone wants to make.
I'm gonna ask about it. The group. I was gonna do it in Fireside, but like before we actually bed down, I was gonna look at like whatever the hall looks like, if there's a good place to do alarm, and if they want people, if you guys even want me to do it. We've broken up to some awfulness before, but I've also.
Also, did the Wachter brothers leave yet? As we went upstairs.
As you guys walked up, they were sort of like looking around, kind of like the last couple chicks left the bar and they're sitting there with their drinks and like, fuck it, let's go get some fucking Jimmy John's or what. let's go get a fucking veggie burrito off the street here because we ain't getting any tonight. You know, kind of that kind of look, and they walk out.
All right.
I'm showing a little bit of the second floor here to see if it's worth it here. So.
Okay. You got to move up. If you
you got to move up a little bit. So I got Spargle, Deckard, Alaric in a room. I got, and then I'll put Thorin and Ragnar in the other room here. Thorin and Ragnar. And, you can assume like right here is where you guys are all kind of like hanging out in the hallway and having a chit chat.
Is Irina and Ismark there too or not?
They are.
Okay.
I don't know. None of this it needs to be too precise, but yeah, they're in another room. They're in another room.
What's the big room on
I'll
the
just give a
second
little
floor?
tap on their door to let them know that we're having a chat. Dan.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. Let me do this right for you, Thoradin, since you're pressing me on it.
I'm sorry.
What year is it in?
What
this
year is
world?
it?
Yeah, it is the year 735 of the 9th moon, 12th day at now 1 a.m.
Oh, Dan, I see what it is. So that stair leads to a balcony. Okay. I
Is
get
it
it.
seven? What year?
735.
Okay.
Is Brunner still alive?
Oh,
Brunner?
Like, how old's Drizzt?
I don't think he's.
so I don't want to say too much. So,
I'm not sure.
Well,
Deckard, where you're at right now,
Mhm.
the place that you're at right now, it's the year 735.
Got it.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
What happened?
Yeah, why'd you
I
laugh?
don't know, because that's a lot of stuff to take in if you think about what he just said.
Oh,
It's year 735 where you are.
Where you are now.
Yeah, right. That was
well,
pretty
isn't
messed
that
up.
where you all are?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we just went full turtles in time. Cowabunga.
My toe!
My toe.
So yeah, so you guys head up from the tap room at the Blue Water Inn. You've got some nice rooms. Ismark and Irina are soundly asleep. You tap on their door. Perhaps they'll come out. The rest of you are about ready to crash. It's about 1 a.m. You're standing out in the hallway. We'll take that to fireside chat if anybody wants to share anything that they learned downstairs.
Where's this Marks and Irina's room? I don't see them. Do you guys see them?
Is that this thing?
Oh, okay, because I don't see them in there. So I was just
Yeah, no, there's. Oh, that's not her.
Do Bismarck
There's-
and Irina have separate beds, or is this kind of like my stepsister?
Yeah, they got
Oh
separate
my
beds.
god.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They were over in this room here.
Fucking crocus.
No, separate beds. I'm just.
They do. I
making a
think they do.
joke. Jesus,
They do.
that's too bad.
All right, so yeah, that's the scene, and we'll close up the session there. Seems like we can have a little bit of. There's probably some good stuff to share in Fireside, and then next session we'll pick up. You guys are up here in the Blue Water Inn.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Well,
you're
Sal, it was
preparing
awesome.
Water.
Yeah, Sal, you really added a lot. to
You
this.
killed
That's
it,
great.
dude. You were great. I'm
That's
gonna send
amazing.
you some. I'm gonna send you some commentary, but you knocked it out of the park. I loved it.
Yeah, Sal's read so much Forgotten Realms stuff.
I know. He gave me his backstory. I'm like, fuck, I got to read 30 books before I could figure out what's going on here. I mean, this guy knows more shit than I do about all this. I'm like, what the fuck is a Mithril Hall?
Yeah.
I knew that part, but
No fucking
that's great.
joke is
I
what
love
it
it.
is.
I know. I knew Crocus was going to eat it up, too, with all the shit he's read.
Uncle
from
Graham,
there.
are you kidiing me, dude?
Yeah. Well,
No
he
long
kills
burner search
NPCs.
for
He
stuff
kills
like
all these people instead of.
I don't do that anymore. That's not who I
I
am.
don't do that anymore. I got better.
Now my name is Tracy, and I'm a gnome.
All right, I'm gonna end the stream.
All right,
Thanks.
man.
I want to thank our
Thanks-
viewers. We
thanks
couldn't do
everyone
without
for
you
watching.
guys. Thanks to all of our callers. We
We
couldn't
could
do
do it
without you guys.
without you. You don't.